Tonight, we bring you this week's FlightSim news, updates from SayIntentions. If I can get the thing to do the thing, maybe a Marchetti, then a Shark 600, and we check out Dortmund and Dusseldorf. Ooh. Hello? Hello. Hello. Everybody, happy Wednesday. Welcome to the middle of the week, the halftime show, the midweek shuffle. Welcome to the news. And tonight, friends, we have all the news. Yes. Bringing you up to date with this week's flight simulation news. Right. Then we have some updates from SayIntentions. The marketplace isn't working for me, so we may or may not have the SIAI Marchetti or SayIntentions. The Marchetti anyway, right? And I need to get it to work. We have a Shark 600 to check out. And then we have two airports coming on in from Aerosoft. We have Dortmund and Dusseldorf. Oh, terribly fancy now, lads. It's all going to happen now. Yeah, I can't get the marketplace to work, so, easy now. Let's see how that goes. Hope you're all keeping well. Hope your day has been, fantastic. Right? We're right in the middle of the week. And what's important now for us here, on this side of the pond, we're facing a long weekend. Bank holiday Monday for Easter. You're up to divil you, right? Then, next week is a normal week. No, it's not, it's a short week. The week after is a normal week, and then that has a bank holiday as well. Put the banks to work, we say. Anyway. Jesus. Hope you're all keeping well. We kind of eased after our driving spectacular last night in Euro Truck Sim. Nothing of consequence happened at all. No, very quiet. No, nothing slagged or people talking about. Nothing at all. It was grand, right? So tonight, it's time to play catch up. There's quite a bit of news out there this week, so it's friggin' awesome, right? And we have the Navigraph survey that's back, giving us all sorts of interesting insights, into our hobby. So we'll be delving through that as well, just to see what's happening. It's a funny old sim this, or hobby. We'll check it all out. But anyway, look, who's here in the chat on a Wednesday? Where do they get the name Wednesday or Wednesday from? I'm sure someone now will be able to tell us, Murphy, it was called Wednesday after the Irish invented it. Yeah, but who named it? You're all very welcome in. CP65 rambles in. Oh, come here. Before we even get to the 11-second intro, who left the door open? It's freezing. You're talking 5 degrees outside at the moment. Is it get down to 1 degree tonight? Last week we were like, 21 degrees. can't be keeping up with this. But anyway, CP, hope you're well. Super Typhon is here. Vacuum is in the chat. Welcome aboard. Cy Murray, Jesus, 44 months, man. Thank you very, very much indeed, Cy. Hope you're well. Phantom Diablo, good evening. It's not Thursday, you poor old devil. Fierce Wolf is here, looking fierce and wolfy. Welcome aboard. Right over here, Willem FS, good to see you. Old Veteran 965. Wednesday News Day, or the Hump Day News. Hump Day News. Super Ty says, while I was doing the dishes, my dad came up to me and said a gaming PC setup that usually costs $3,200 is on sale for just $854. So if I secretly end up getting a PC setup to run FlightSim, expect me to be in the sim sooner rather than later. Not saying it'll happen, but it's a possibility. Super Ty, could you imagine now if you're in the virtual skies with us flying a machine? I mean, you're always in the virtual skies, but imagine flying a virtual machine. Jeez, could you imagine? That's going to be great news. Fingers crossed, man. Sarah Doman is here. Good to see you. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're well. Who else come in? Press the button, Murph. You have. Right. I almost forgot to press the button. Nightstep is here. 53 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. He did the face palm emote. 53 months in this Aegis, he said. You know, thank you very, very much indeed. Shuffle Shoes shuffles in. Good to see you, John. Hoopball as well. Flipper Alloy is here. 42 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, my guy. Jesus, lads, the support tonight. And they started a hype train as well on a Wednesday. What'll ever happen next? Slice Pan, I suppose. Filthy, good to see you. Eamon, 1973. What's happening, man? All is good. APU Inspector, good to see you. Phantom Diablo did a thing today. I ordered a gaming mic. Seems that my built-in headphones mic doesn't want to work via the PC. Ooh, is it Bluetooth? Goblin Zeus, a very good evening. Creo is here. Viper Strike, he was flying to the Alps, from the Alps to Milan earlier. Nice. Good to see you, man. Martel is here. 44 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. Fnorty Fnor, Jesus, lads. Spitfire RAF 100 is here in the chat. Good to see you, my guy. Very happy Wednesday. Mac Vision is here. Welcome in, Mac Vision. PH Roy, a very good evening. Schutz is here. Hope we're all good. And you. Liptorius, how are you? Two Dogs, welcome in. 98 Vulcan, happy Wednesday, Murph. And Thursday to me from Gosford, Australia. Hello from Tipperary. How's she cutting? 6 knots. Kieran, you're very welcome aboard. Jesus. Jesus. Who did the thing with it? Look. Someone has fallen over and accidentally pressed a button on their phone. Jesus. Photos by Kev, you absolute mad thing. Did you just see what he did? On a Wednesday. Jesus, Kev, thank you very, very much indeed. 10 gifted tier 1 subs just to start off the evening of... Jesus. Right, do you know? Lads, if you just got a tier 1 sub with thanks to Photos by Kev, well, do be sure to say thank you to him. The man's an absolute legend, and there's a good chance he didn't mean to do it, therefore we'll say no more about it. Nothing happened, Kev. No handshake, nothing. I got some new sound effects. Yeah. And the toll that you drove through you last year came through. Thank you very much indeed, man. Jesus. Right over here now. Alice Shin, good to see you. A big hand for Murphy. Really? Really? 2 minutes and 12 seconds and we're already... we're not going there. We're not going there. Photos by Kev says, popcorn ready for the feck-ups. Indeed, right. Corn Wolf, good evening. Eamon 1973 has been watching for 25 streams in a row. He says it's been hard work, but someone has to do it. Canoe Head 2 is here. He says, Canada says, hello. Welcome in, Canoe Head 2. Sunjammer's here. Tonight, Murph reads some news and scares a few birds with his flying. Could be accurate, could be accurate. Little Trader, welcome in. Onion Farts, wait, what? 1 minute and 53 seconds, right? I was going to take a picture earlier on. I drowned me socks, right? I was throwing water on my face earlier on, and whatever move I made, I drowned me socks. They're dry now, though. You know, it was reminiscent of that time. But we won't get into it, but you know what I mean? Little hand, Murph, 2 dogs, yeah. It's just happened, isn't it? Linny Bobbins is here. Good to see you. Stu Snape, welcome aboard, man. A very good evening to you. Proby Pete is here. He says, good day, Murph from Arizona. 85 degrees, heading to 94. Jesus. We're at about, What's 5 degrees in old money? Well, your money, in your temperature. Yeah. 30s? 20s? 30s. Martin, Kerry Aviation is in the house. Tier 1 subscription for 31 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, Martin. Lads, do be sure to check out Kerry Aviation on Instagram. Yes, some lovely photographs of beautiful, beautiful photographs. So do be sure to check it out. Sunjammer, 3 streams in a row. Thank you very much indeed. Tonight we can say any truck is safe, but it's the birds that are in trouble now, right? Some of us have a long weekend every day, says Scott. Not jealous. Right, now, just some broken glass. Oh, remember that? My middle offspringy thing got married on Monday. Only my daughter left. Be the Janie Mac, your middle offspring thingy. Brilliant. Congratulations, Kev. Great news, man. Old Veteran says, for those who may not have seen the trucking yesterday, you may want to at least go to the Clips channel and see what you have missed. It might interest you in watching the shenanigans. There's no shenanigans. We do very realistic simulation. I mean, that's what we do, you know. The most realistic simulation you'll find. Well, we simulate trying to simulate real-world simulations. You know, we get there. TG Sims, good to see you. Stick Figure is here. Welcome aboard. Muse Fan is here, bursting in the door with his nose. He says, how he is his mad jokes. Happy hump day. I'll translate that now. Muse Fan says, hello, good evening, great to see you. Pull up a chair and relax for the next 2 to 3 hours while we come to grips with what's happening in the world of FlightSim. Well, okay, that's not what he said, but if he did, it'd sound nothing like that. Jizzle can't be doing that. Soaring AJ H, man, hope you're well. Tarnish Mossman, hello. DeBlaze is here. Happy News Day, or News Edge, to all the folks, including those with definitely averaged sized hands. Petrolhead, welcome aboard. Great to see you. Cyrus T, the man of teal. Good to see you. And the P180 brand new livery is available now on the website. Thank you, Cyrus. Awesome work. Sir Camsalot, AJH Madude, hope you're well. Neo, good to see you. Devil Fly, he says, howdy all from SoCal. Welcome in. Hello from Tipperary, where it's much colder. Jamaumu, very happy Wednesday. Little Trader says, in English, the name derived from Old English, Jesus, Waddensdag, and Middle English, wait for it, Wednesday, Day of Wooden. Reflecting on the religion practiced by the Anglo-Saxons, the English equivalent to the Norse god Odin. What? Are you sure? Was it not named after your one out of the Addams family? Come on out of that. Samurai Diaz, welcome aboard. Vacuum says Wednesday from the Germanic god Wooden. Germanic god Woden, not Wooden. Wooden. He was a hard old god. Moving on, Murph. Tenured, good to see you, man. Stu is here for 20 streams in a row, look. 20 of them. Thank you very much indeed. Out here in the suburbs is out there in the suburbs. Good evening. Wednesday derived from Odin's Day. Great fellows, the Old Norse. Yeah, great bunch of lads, you know. Creo says, I thought perhaps Wednesday was named after Saint Wendy. Was there a Saint Wendy? Hey, Crote, good to see you. How are you, Murph and Fireflies? 10 degrees and blue skies here on Great Island, Cork. Positively tropical. Is it Cork? You're very welcome in. Then Kev, Photos by Kev, did a wild thing and pressed the button for 10 gifted tier 1 subs. Thank you very much indeed, Kev. And lads, as I said, enjoy those subscriptiones to the channel. Great news. Great news. You can use all the emotes, access to our Discord page for the members only where we do giveaways, and you get to look like a genuine mad lad. Brilliant. And there's no ads. It's right. Yeah, no, that's it. Trying to think, you know, do you get a prize or something? Well, you might get a giveaway. But thank you very much indeed. Right, we're over here now. Look, Captain Ray, good evening. Where's this now? I'm old, but not that old. Brilliant. It's chilly on the Will I Am. Zith, good to see you. Welcome. It is cold, isn't it? Adam Controls is here. Be Janie then, 10 streams in a row. I was in there watching the old controlling now. Adam was on the ground at Dublin looking after... Well, he was on the tower. He was in the tower on the ground. Yeah. Great crack. Roy says, Wednesday in English name derived from the Old English. Yeah, that's mad, isn't it? 41 degrees. That's 26 Celsius. Jesus, Scott, that's nice. Super Toy was indeed behind most of the clips. Indeed. The Impossible Face, nobody crashed into the house at all. No one. House? Not at all. Kanzui is here, also known as Kanoozy. Good to see you, my guy. Kanoozy. Hello. Sarah Doman says, Murph's driving doesn't make me flying seem too bad. Yeah, I had a terrible accident last night. Well, I was testing, physics. I thought the Irish invented Wednesday. Oh, no, we did. The size of that spider. Did y'all see that? What? Where? Let's not go there. Let's just, where's this now? It looked huge in Murph's hands. Wait, what? I heard someone hand another streamer off to the maple syrup people, where they were flying into Canada last night in FlightSim. They were handed over to maple syrup people. Wait, what? Oddness. 18.4 degrees here and showery, says 98 Vulcan. Jesus. Right, who else came in the door as they left the parlour door open? Uniform Goose is here. Good to see you, Goose. Hope you're well. Marty K, good evening. Timmy Dodd, you're looking well. Nutty Slack is here. Black Sheep Gene, he says, good day to all from San Jose, California. Hello.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Hello from Tipperary. Good to see you. Fernando Deval is here. Hello from Texas. Hello from Tipperary. You're looking well. Who else come in? Mrs. TPHI is here. Hello. Michael Walsh. How are you, Michael? Newfoundland is here. Welcome aboard. DJ. Wait now. Normal Norman. He says, I just got an Xbox. Should I get Microsoft Flight Sim? If so, which one? If you have the Xbox, get Game Pass, and then you have the best of both worlds. 24 at the moment needs a bit of work on Xbox. It'll work, but it needs a bit of work. You know what I mean? Michael Walsh, hello from South Yorkshire. Hello from Tipperary. Right, where are we at? We're over here, look. Xbox, yeah, if you can get Game Pass, you're kind of laughing because you'll have both Sims. Do you know what I mean? And you'll be absolutely brilliant, right? You'll be brilliant. So, yeah. Let the music stop. I mean, the timing of that, though, do you know what I mean? That has to be a record. That's precisely 10 3/4 seconds to introduce the news. Right, wait to see what we do next. Right. Jesus, brilliant. So I'm having issues, lads, with the InSim marketplace because I'm trying to purchase the SIAI, or the SIAI, I used to call them SIAI, Marchetti, right? And it's not letting me do it. And when I tried to do it there a minute ago, well, the sim crashed 3 or 4 times, you see. And then it said, my identity is mistaken with someone else's identity. Please log in with your previously known identity. I only have the one identity. But that's kind of where it's at, right? Why is my camera gone all shagged? Get in there now, you devil. Right. Well, miss, thank you very much indeed. 10 months, man. Jesus, good evening. Thank you very much indeed. Hope you're well. Right, so we've some airports to check out tonight. We also have some aircraft, one including this friendly little number down here. This is the Shark 600. And, well, I want to get the other machine up and running as well. We will be checking this little divil out. This is the brand new super cheap. Cheap as in value. It's only like $5 or $6. And it's an interesting machine, this, because it's actually signed off by the manufacturer. Which we don't always get when it comes to flight. In FlightSim, it's not always the case that the manufacturers will actually sign off on the aircraft to say, yeah, look, we're 100% happy with this, right? So we're going to be checking that out. It's a weird and mad looking machine. I didn't think I was going to like it from the shape of it, but the interior is absolutely incredible. Nothing wrong with how it's built. It's more just to do with the kind of style. Do you know what I mean? But we will be checking this one out shortly because it looks very nice. I haven't done that with it yet, so it's a first look, first in, not bet stressed at all kind of preview. The plane is made for Murphy and is use a larger keyboard. Oh, Jesus. David Ebert is here. Good to see you, David. Best message from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. Hope you're well. Please sign in with smaller right, anyway, great bunch of lads. Let's pause the simulation and we'll go into the menu or the marketplace a little bit later on. And, well, tonight, where am I going for? I'm going over here, look. And this button here, look. Holy, the amount of tabs on me. Tabs, Batman, right? We'll start off with the news tonight, friends. And, well, a big shout out to Vasco over at MSFSaddons.com and to Callum and all the lads over at FS Elite. That's where we get all our news from. So we're going to start off this evening. We have an update from the MicroProse Boeing B-17G for Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is a project I'm very excited about. And that's what are they talking about? Well, It's been nearly 10 months since MicroProse announced the B-17G flying fortress for Microsoft FlightSim. And if you've only been skimming headlines since then, well, you might think not much has happened. But MicroProse have been active under the radar, on their Discord sharing regular updates and detailed previews that shed some light on the work that they're doing on this aircraft. Here's an updated look at where the project stands today. Over the past few weeks, MicroProse have been showcasing compartment after compartment of the aircraft, from the tail gunner's position to the top and the ball turrets, even the bomb bay. The previews are still flagged as work in progress, but they highlight MicroProse's intention to deliver a highly comprehensive recreation of the B-17's interior. The animations and sounds, according to Sergio Costa, who we all know from Heli Simmer, he's also the project manager at MicroProse. The major development focus right now is on animations and sounds. The team recently recorded a full suite of authentic audio from a real B-17G, the Sentimental Journey, and implementation is now underway. So it is very much work in progress, and there's a couple of screens that we can share with you here, right? So you'll kind of see where it's at. From some of the textures, just the general modelling and how they're putting this aircraft all together. So it's MicroProse do have that kind of legacy name within flight simulators, and it's great to see. Well, look, they're hard at work doing this kind of stuff. It's exciting, right? Anyway, you can see from the level of detail here. I mean, look, you got the chains and you got the gears. There's weapons at least modelled. Whether or not they're animated, we couldn't tell you. But it certainly starts. It starts kind of whetting the owl appetite to say, Janie, then this is going to be class, right? This is going to be class looking. So loads of detail, and considering like these are just the gunning positions or the gunner positions, and very, very excited, right? So it's starting to come together. Flight dynamics and systems also still in progress, but Sergio has been transparent about where things stand. Visuals were the initial priority, and now the modelling is mostly done. Most resources will be moving towards getting the aircraft flying the way it should. That includes consultant input from people with real-world knowledge of the aircraft itself. Early access is the next major step. With no ETA yet, Sergio has stated clearly that the aircraft will enter early access as soon as it's ready to do so. That means systems won't be complete and some features will be missing, but the goal is to let users start flying it and offer feedback that can shape the remaining development. Toto, good to see you. Notably, this will be MicroProse's first aircraft for Microsoft FlightSim, which is part of why they're taking a measured approach. Internal release targets do exist, but they're not being shared publicly. They're targeting for FlightSim 24 first and then 2020 shortly after. This is actually great news because most devs will go 2020 first and then we'll push it into 24. But anyway, MicroProse have confirmed that the release order for 2024 first, with a version of 2020 following not much later. Swap21, thank you very much indeed for 21 months, subscribing for 3 months in advance. There's a man who has optimism. Thank you very, very much indeed, Swap. The team switched gears to take advantage of what 2024 can offer, despite acknowledging the new sim presents development challenges that have slowed progress at times. Fingers crossed it's now moving in the right direction. Do you know what I mean? Balut is here, welcome aboard. Who's this now? Jan Dua, good to see you. Colonel Fork is here. Bloody hell. Tier 3 for 57 months. 57 months, Colonel Fork. And Tier 3. Mother legit. Thank you very much indeed. Really, really do appreciate it, man. Hope you're keeping well. This is an aircraft I say the Colonel is looking forward to as well. Console performance also a consideration. Optimization is ongoing. Some visual compromises might be required to get the aircraft up and running on Xbox. But the good news is testing is already happening internally. So they're actually giving this a blast, right? And again, we can see more photos here. What do you think of this machine, lads? I mean, is this definitely an aircraft on your list going, this must happen? You know, you need this aircraft in your life. Anyone who's watched, Masters of the Air, you're going to be all over this. But anyone who's into the Warbirds, you know what I mean? It's just it's an iconic aircraft. I mean, you have the B-17 and of course the Lancaster. Both of these just iconic. You know, Jeppesen 2001, the man, the myth, the legend, has reported in what word of the news of the realm. He says, "Good evening, Murph and Fireflies. I was at the dock today and mentioned about a pain in the ball of me foot. They advised me to wear Crocs around the house to help it. I've only been saying this for about 3 years. But lads, can we just take a moment and appreciate the Crocs? I mean, for medicinal value, right? You know, Crocs are the absolute BG, Jesus, the BG, no, what am I trying to say? They're the be all and end all of your, you know, fashionable and, you know, practical feet needs. Right? Been saying it for years. The bee's knees. Adam Controls, thanks very much for the tier 1 sub. Did Adam Controls press the button? Jesus. Legend. But anyway, Nismo, good to see you. They are the BG... I nearly said that, Kev. Oh, right, anyway, it looked huge at first, but then I remembered his tiny hands. Shag off. There's nothing wrong with my hands, they're huge. Look the size of them. That's scratching me head right now. Look, yeah, Jay. Oh, good old scratch. Yeah, hang on. Oh, Jesus, yeah. Massive hands, right? That was a while ago, Murph. I just seen it. Ah, right, grand. The state of them. What do you mean the state of them? News fan, wash your mouth out with soap. Nothing wrong with them. But anyway, we're getting back to the B7. This is all serious now, lads. You know, it's the news. Right? Yeah. And Crocs, of course, you know. This looks gorgeous. So are we all just waiting for this? Colonel Falk said he's impatiently waiting for this, you know. It looks absolutely stunning. We've some more screenshots here, look. Ooh, radio place station. Wait, what? Radio navigator? The wireless operator station, let's go with that. And things, look at that. Look the way the windows are covered in with like the material, look. That's mad, isn't it? US Air Corps, look at the detail, lads. Now, I wonder, will Sergio put in Elvis, you know, just for the crack of it? Well, what didn't your man play Elvis in the thing? Anyway, we're still waiting on the cockpit, so the reveal is the last big visual update we're waiting for. Well, that and the engines, I suppose. It's still to come. It's working, just not fully yet. In a short message shared earlier this week, Sergio says, we're still working on the cockpit. We're doing some more passes on the interior and exterior, and he would have liked to have shown the cockpit already, but that'll have to wait for a little bit longer, but don't worry, it will be worth it. So, radio operator was also a gunner. They recorded the B-17s from the real B-17 at Falcon Field. No way, did they? Oh, that's awesome. Lost trucker, brilliant. But yeah, lads, I'm really looking forward to this B-17. It's look, isn't it? It's going to be one of those releases that you hope they absolutely nail it. That name, MicroProse, is a huge name. It's a huge name in the legacy of flight simulation. And I'm somewhat at ease. I'm very confident because with Sergio has extremely high standards when it comes to, well, everything. He's very high standards. So his involvement in all of this, well, that's going to be good news for us. So really looking forward to this. Sergio Costa, if you ever get the chance to meet him, he tends to be at FlightSim Expos. Just a lovely guy to chat to. Incredibly nice fella. And it's always helis, and then like B-17, why not? You know. So yeah. Thankfully, the B-17 will have luxuries that will work for someone with small hands like Murph. But to be fair, imagine if I did just rage quit. That'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? Jesus, do you remember the time they were slagging Murph and they... Right! Moving on. Wait, is everything still live? I don't press that button till I finish. Imagine if I shagged the whole thing. Oh, Jesus, hang on, will you? Yeah, no, we're still live. Right. Fresh the press too. IniBuilds A300 got a pretty big update. No, it's on the way. What? Wait, hang on. We are still live. Yeah, no, we are. No, we're not. Shag off. I can see the button. There's a button that tells me if it's still blinking. It's still blinking. Right, moving on here now. Look at the state of it though. Isn't it gorgeous, right? No, shag off. Don't be telling me it's muted or that it's gone offline. Now I'm genuinely concerned. Hang on. Wait. Where's this little... No, it's live. Shag off. It's grand. Saw an interesting interview of Bill Steely, founder of MicroProse. Ooh, nice. Right, moving on. Shag off. Don't be telling me things are broken. Inni just posted that it got released. Oh, did they? Jesus. Right, news coming up there. I guess we'll see Murphy's Bell on the channel. We will. Murphy's Bell. Captain Sim, pull up the handbrake now. Cut out the messing. Wait till you see this. So Captain Sim have released a Boeing 777-300 extended range for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Captain Sim releasing their Boeing 777-300 for Microsoft Flight Sim, presenting it as the first in a series of airframe and engine variants tailored for the new simulator. The announcement came accompanied by a new video and a product page detailing the aircraft's visual features, animations, and included liveries. What do they mean by a series of airframe and engine? This release, however, continues a familiar pattern. While the 777 sports a new label for Microsoft Flight Sim 24, the core of the aircraft still relies heavily on default systems, specifically the avionics and functionality of the Asobo 747-8. This means users will encounter many of the same limitations found on Captain Sim's previous 777 releases in Flight Sim 2020. However, visually, the aircraft looks good. The model depicts the 777-300 with the GE90-115B engines, General Electric, complete with the extended wingtips and also the reinforced landing gear typical of the real-world variant. The exterior features an extensive list of animated elements, doors, panels, APU intake, engine covers, and even deployable escape slides. However, a full cabin is included, along with a set of 11 airline liveries, Air France, Emirates, Japan, and others, plus a Captain Sim house paint that everyone wants to print off and put on their mantelpiece. The cockpit includes standard interactive elements such as working sunshades, movable pilot windows, and ambient props like drink cups and paper charts. A basic EFB is present on the captain's side, while the first officer EFB is used to trigger custom animations. World Flight, welcome in. Despite the fresh packing, the system's depth does remain light. Captain Sim refers to essential system functionality and confirms that some systems are dependent on the default 747, which must be installed. The phrasing suggests no major overhaul of core avionics or flight sim or flight management systems. Whether any enhancements have been made to the systems compared to that was seen in 2020 hasn't been outlined. And based on past releases, expectations for realism should remain modest. Right. For many simmers, this release is unlikely to change the narrative around the Captain Sim airliners. And I gotta say, right, I mean, Captain Sim over the last couple of months, you know, I'm gonna straight up, I've enjoyed the C-130. I thought that was a great step in the right direction. The SPAD aircraft that they did was quite good. You know, the Henkel is quite good, right? So there's definitely movement on one side. When it comes to their airliners, I mean, there's no doubt they have a passion there. I mean, they're doing stuff, but it's effectively a skin pack, really, isn't it? It's like, how do you say it? It's like a skin with a couple of little features thrown in. It's best viewed as a visually complete model with functioning flight deck that replicates some of the basics. All right, which is more with more comprehensive 777s on the horizon. Of course, you have the PMDG 777. This will appeal likely to more casual users, which makes sense, right? It's available now. You can pick it up for $20 from Captain Sim. I suppose, like, if you're not, you know, a huge flyer of airliners, but every now and again you want to just jump in. The Captain Sim stuff, I mean, you can throw in a flight plan. It'll do kind of the basics, right? So maybe it is giving folks the choice to say, listen, I mean, it looks like a 777. It might even sound like it, you know, but it's not a 777. There's a little video here. Let's have a little quick look just to see what they're actually doing and how it all looks. Do you know what I mean? That's the wrong music. That didn't work at all. Jesus, I pressed the wrong button. Yes, yes. Pretend we're playing music. There we go. Jesus, Murph. Right, I better play that again because I made a balls of it. Now, as we're looking at it though, I mean, we're looking at the visual side of the house, right? So inside the cockpit, it looks correct. But they do have some data here we can see for 4 engines, and there's not 4 engines. But the modelling looks okay, right? The exterior looks pretty good. The exterior does look good. this is nice. All the doors and the slides and all that jazz, I mean, that's not bad looking. But like, I mean, for the airliner, extraordinaire, they're going to be looking at this going, oh shit, right. But anyway, it's available now. It's $20. I don't know. I mean, when you consider what PMDG are going to be doing with their 777, price ranging, I don't know, 2 to 3 times this price. Well, and it has a cabin. Look, they didn't show that in the cabin. Like the pictures here do look impressive. They look really nice. But unless you've no real interest in flying these things, you just want to load them in just to see what they look like and do a little bit of a rip. Yeah, it'll do. Sure it will. The question has to be here, lads. How different is Captain Sim versus the likes of Latin VF4? Considering Latin VF4 now have the Airbus fleet in there, targeting heavily on the default Airbus that's already in the sim, and they just make the thing look a little bit different. They tweak some files here and there. This kind of seems similar. It kind of seems similar. That's my kind of 2 cents on it, All beauty, no brains. Yeah, pretty much. Captain Gaming, good to see it. Is there passenger models? Yeah, this is... No, as in, can you get passengers into it? I would doubt very much GSX to work on that. But look, it's just one of these, let's scratch the head, what's going on here kind of thing. You know what I mean? But look, it is what it is. What are your thoughts on it, lads? Is it a run away from it, or it's like, no, it's quite okay, Let us know. The video should be longer since we barely have enough time to look at it. Yeah, right? The visuals are nice. Yeah. Hard pass. Brilliant. No buy. Yeah, no buy. It's a no from me. Yeah. Well, maybe it appeals to someone, think most folks here would go for PMDG. I think so. Like PMDG, you're getting the realism, and you're getting the simulation of it. All right, moving on. FlightSim Studio, their E-Jets are now working in FlightSim 2024 beta. This is interesting. So they have released a version of the E-Jet series, the Embraers, the 170, 175, 190 and 195 to be compatible with Microsoft Sim Update 2 beta. Compatible as FlightSim Studio describes it. I nearly said the wrong name. It means that the aircraft now work in 24, much like they do in 2020. Most systems function as before, but there are still some bugs and a few known limitations remain, most notably the lack of VNAV and a custom FMS. That said, for those who already made the jump to the new sim and were grounded without their E-Jets, the release will be welcome news. The aircraft are flyable again, the EFB works, and basic SimBrief integration is also possible through a few workarounds. It's not perfect, but it's something. So it's on the way, right? It's on the way. However, there's a very direct warning here. FlightSim 24 version only works if you previously activated the E-Jets in FlightSim 2020. The activation process is not supported in the new sim yet, so you're going to need to make sure that you have the aircraft already in 2020. If you skipped FlightSim 2020 and started fresh with 24, you won't be able to use the aircraft. FlightSim Studios have issued a very direct warning. Don't buy this unless you own it in don't buy it unless you own FlightSim 2020. The product can't be activated otherwise. No refunds are guaranteed. Ooh. All right. For now, the 2024 compatible version is only available through Contrail, and users can install it by switching to the 2024 tab in the app. So that's important. Important also, SimBrief integration, many rely on for flight planning, doesn't work fully through the aircraft's MacDo at the moment. They recommend using the tail number to set up the flight ID via the livery menu, or importing the route using the inbuilt tablet SimBrief app. If it fails, the old-fashioned method, manual entry into the MacDo remains available. So there's no seamless connection here. VNAV remains unavailable. There's no ETA for when it will arrive. Like LNAV, or while LNAV is present and it works reasonably well, the lack of vertical navigation continues to limit the aircraft's capabilities. FlightSim Studios have said work continues on its custom FMS and autopilot systems. So these aircraft were released and still are as early access. If memory serves me, what's the name of them over on X-Plane? X-Craft, they did a lot of the kind of model work for them And they're trying to take it in this direction here as well, you know. VNAV should be there for FlightSim 28, right? Yeah, look, it kind of is what it is, isn't it? But if you have the aircraft in 2020 and you've been waiting to fly these in 24, well, that's who this is aimed at. You know, it's coming soon. You know what I mean? Zybok Doc is here. Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. AzurPoly, huge news. Now, we've 2 bits of news tonight. First, the Jag. AzurPoly's Jag is now available on FlightSim 2024, and it includes weapons. What? We'll have a look at that in a moment. However, they've also announced the Dassault Rafale for FlightSim 20, I think, in 2024. This is another, what's the word we're looking for? Manufacturer approved aircraft. It's endorsed by Dassault Aviation. So the Jag was only kind of the start. This one, of course, they're working on the Rafale, and it's one of the most recognizable and capable multi-role aircraft in the world, right? An official license from the manufacturer themselves. This could be fantastic, lads, couldn't it? Fantastic news. So AzurPoly revealed the news through their official channels, sharing a single sleek render of the aircraft. We're honoured to be developing the aircraft under an official license. The collaboration will allow us to deliver the most accurate and detailed simulation of the aircraft ever brought to Microsoft FlightSim. With the success of the Sepcat Jag, also a licensed product, AzurPoly has solidified strong working relationships with the French aerospace giant. Rafale continues the studio's mission of bringing French aviation classics to the sim, which also included the TB Epsilon, the Fuga Magister, and of course the Transall C160. What to expect from the aircraft? Well, the initial release will focus on the C variant, single seat operated by the French and the French Air and Space Force, and other variants such as the naval version and the 2-seater, not confirmed, but developers say they're keeping the door open. As for platforms, FlightSim 2024 in mind, based on their belief that by the time of the release in 25, the new sim will have reached sufficient maturity. However, the team hasn't ruled out a FlightSim 2020 release either. Isn't it a beautiful plane? Gorgeous. So the official backing, which is awesome, it can't be overstated. It's a very significant milestone in any simulator. When you have, you know, the manufacturer saying, we endorse this. This is, you know, we're happy to see this. The PMDG stuff years ago used to have the official Boeing kind of stamp on them, right? The partnership enables AzurPoly to access more accurate data, specifications, and reference material. And you also get a sign-off from the manufacturer to say, yeah, we're happy with that. It's great for us. So we now know we're getting, you know, a better or a more realistic aircraft, do you know? So they've only shared one single render of the aircraft. They're working on it. They're hoping to release it, as I said, this year. And they will give us some sort of a release window later on. So great news there from AzurPoly. This is incredible news. Now, staying with AzurPoly, I had the gadget here somewhere. Maybe it's on Discord. It was. I saw Cyrus T put it up in the gadget. Hang on. By the way, a very shameless plug. If you're new to flight simming and communities and all this sort of jazz, well, lads, we've a very fancy Discord look. Discord is kind of just like a place to hang out from a social part of the world. You know, you can jump in and you can be chatting with other like-minded people. You can be chatting, texting, streaming. It does all the stuff. And our own Discord community, the TTM's Flying Circus, we have an amazing group of folks from all walks of life. And it's incredible. It really, really is. So exclamation point Discord gets you over there. So we go down to news, and we have this here. Good man, Cyrus. Let's have a look at this. To buy the aircraft in the marketplace, there's a video here. Look, the news we're looking at here, right? It's the native 2024 release. Now, I've been messing around with this for a little while, and it's brilliant. The 2020 version is chef kiss. You know, the 2024 version is wear the head off you kiss, right? It's gorgeous. Now, Practically Geek has made a beautiful video. We better go check it out, right? Now, he has his own sounds, which I can't use, so we'll have to use our own sounds to make it look kind of fancy and make it sound like it's something, you know, very, very close to what Practically Geek has done, right? So I'm going to disappear me. Come back, Murphy, we're great crack, and we're going to play one of these. Are we ready? Like, it does look a bit frightening and mad, doesn't it? So this is all coming from AzurPoly, and basically the video, by the way, lads, check out the video over on YouTube. It's from Practically Geek. Get over there and give the man a follow and a subscribe and a like and all the things that you do on YouTube. Neil, thank you very much indeed. Jesus, 32 months. Cheers, man. So what we saw in the video here, right? I mean, we're looking at ground damage. So basically when you fire a weapon and it impacts on the ground, you get this kind of a new texture thing that appears. Brilliant. And also you can see some visual effects, things like smoke, flyers, explosions, all this sort of jazz is there. And then I think after a little bit of time, the scenery kind of fixes itself and off it goes, right? The Jag itself in the sim, it's an incredible aircraft to fly. The 2024 version, well, it's just better than the 2020 version, mainly because the textures, they're a little bit sharper, you know, the performance is a little bit better. Plus we have all these weapon systems now, which is awesome. It's just for fun. You can't shoot at and down out the sky. You can't blow up buildings, but you can do a bit of messing with the weapons. Great. Jag. Yeah, very, very good. So, Cyrus, thank you very much indeed for giving me that link over in our Discord. And if anyone, as I said, wants to ramble in and join our Discord, well, sure, that's where you'll find the stuff there. Unsure if that stuff will appear in multiplayer. I thought I read somewhere that it would, though. You know, definitely a niche within a niche, Scott. Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. So, great news from AzurPoly, and it's great to see them. Like, I mean, lads, we remember their first entries into the sim. The Fuga was the one I was all over. They did that other weird rocket jet thingy as well. But I remember the Fuga. I put considerable time into learning that machine, and I remember chatting to the team at AzurPoly because I was able to give them a whole load of stuff I had. And the Fuga is just gorgeous. But they've from then you had the Transall, and like they've been really doing well. The Bronco, of course, another excellent aircraft. They're a great developer, and it's great to see them moving this direction, you know. So yeah, great news there. Now, FlightFX, we touched on this last week. However, their C750 enters the final stretch for Microsoft FlightSim with a massive feature expansion and a May release target, lads. May, right? FlightFX, they're inching closer to their Citation 750 for the sim, an ambitious project that has grown well beyond its initial scope. In a development update released this week, the team outlined the extensive improvements made to the aircraft, which is now targeting a release in May for both 2020 and 2024. Described by the team as their most complete aircraft yet. This is huge. The Citation X has gone through a significant evolution during its beta. Over 100 bugs have been addressed across the systems, avionics, and the user experience, but it's the feature add-ons or additions that truly stand out. So, they have learned a lot from the P180, which we can all agree is an incredible aircraft, both in terms of development process, but even from the user feedback. As a result, the C750 has been given a major boost in scope, particularly around the system depth, visual polish, and quality of life tools. And you can see some of the screenshots coming in. This thing looks incredible. A fully featured tablet powered by VAMS 2 now anchors much of the in-sim functionality. It includes SimBrief integration, a load manager with manual weight and balance control, a new customization option such as the global unit settings and throttle dedent calibration. There's also expanded support for cabin interactions, bringing the interior interactivity up to the standard set that we've seen with the Avanti. Under the hood, the aircraft has seen a significant push towards realism. The flight model has been updated with improvements to the VNAV, flight level change, and FADEC behavior, also the thrust reverser logic. Pressurization, hydraulics, environmental systems, and the electrics have all been reworked, and new logic for anti-ice performance effects have been introduced. The avionics suite, based on the Honeywell Primus 2000, well, it's a bespoke system. A fully operational FMC supporting direct-to functionality, user waypoints, synchronized speeds, and the vertical situation display, the PFDs, the MFDs, and even the CAS logic have all been refined to reflect the real aircraft's behavior. FlightFX is now focused on finalising the 3D art and textures, which include updates to the wing and engine geometry, improving material baking, new decals, and dynamic tail registration, with the interior being refreshed with enhanced lighting, weird effects, animations, and even more detailed cabin environment. Visual realism extends to the lighting and volumetric strobes, desync beacon lights, and updated clutter modelling. 2 new liveries are also being added ahead of the release. Have a look at some of these pictures. Look Look at the cut of that. Look at the lighting. Isn't that a thing of beauty? Isn't that gorgeous? That's kind of like Starship vibes. That sort of level, isn't it? Isn't it gorgeous? The EFB that you can see here, how you control everything. I mean, this thing is shaping up to be breathtakingly stunning. So yeah, really, really excited for this. FlightFX have been doing just incredible work here. Incredible work. So it's really coming together. The developers sourced their custom sound set directly from a Citation 10 in California. The package includes authentic engine and APU sounds, mechanical clicks, chimes, and cabin environment audio. It should provide a strong auditory match for the aircraft's performance and environment. So, with that said, a full list of features for this machine has the bespoke Primus 2000 suite, full VNAV, custom FADEC, winglet, non-winglet variants, real-time EPB system for dynamic engine performance, deeply modelled pressurization, environmental, hydraulic, electrical, fuel and ice systems, full reversed thrust and autopilot functionality, IRS CAS engine sync FADEC faithful to the real aircraft, and of course they have their new electronic flight bag, and visual modelling, wing flex, volumetric lights, strobes, interior and exterior lighting, dynamic registration on placards, custom sound set, recorder from the real aircraft, and so on and so on. So they're now polishing the final visual details. FlightFX is aiming to release this aircraft in May, just next month, lads. Who here is like savagely excited for this? You got to love the business jets. And we do have a lot of them on the way. FlightFX seem to be kind of leading the push from the Citation side of the house, right? But there's other aircraft on the way, but this looks, I mean, that looks incredible, doesn't it? It looks gorgeous, lads. So yeah, really, really looking forward to this. And even the screens, like they have that kind of curvature on them. It just looks gorgeous, I have to say. DK says, but does it sync with the FlightSim 24 EFB? Should be a basic feature. Not sure. To be honest, it doesn't look like it does because that's its custom setup, right? I mean, I'm sure you can still bring up the InSim EFB, you know. Severely tempted, love my C700. Yeah. This one makes me drool. Mostly fly the longitude, and this is the next step up. Yeah. And look, it's freaking gorgeous looking, you know. So why would you want to use the default EFB if it comes with one? Well, I mean, some people probably prefer, you know, the Microsoft EFB, but I prefer. I tend to go when developers make their own one, you know, because it's very specific to that aircraft. But yeah, I'm sure you can still bring up your shortcut and show the InSim EFB too, you know. So great news there from FlightFX. Now, Skunk Works bringing the Marchetti to FlightSim 2024. If I can get it installed, we will try it though. They've launched a freshly updated version of the Marchetti for FlightSim 2024. It's rebuilt as a native model to take advantage of the platform's latest features. The SF260 had originally been released in FlightSim 2020, all the way back in 2023. Abo, good to see you. So, right, this is an aircraft, it's another near and dear to me because the Irish Air Corps flew these, the Marchetti Warriors, right? And it was the FS260. And when Sim Skunk Works first launched this aircraft in the sim, I wasn't overly excited about it because I didn't like the sounds. The handling was nothing that I remembered when I flew one, and it was just, lads. It has, however, received many updates and they were very quick to fix things. There was some flight behavior. I thought with the rudder, I said, like, that's oversensitive. I mean, you can induce a barrel roll just from the rudder. And they said, no, it's accurate. And I was like, no, it's not. And they're like, no, it is accurate. And then I asked a pilot who flew and he said, oh yeah, that's pretty accurate. So I then shut up, right? But anyway, they've rebuilt the aircraft now for 2024 and I'm excited to fly it because as I said, when the aircraft first came out in 2020, I was like, opportunity missed. But then they updated it and I was like, well, no, it's actually pretty good now. I really want to see what they've managed, what they've learned from the 2020 variant and then brought it into 2024. So the native support for walk-around inspections is already there. You can't use it in career mode, but that shouldn't be a problem. The functionality also has the new dirt and wear system and unique wear states for each livery and variant. So if you can have, rough and ready or nice and easy. So QC Frank says, Murph, waiting for the G91 and 104 update. Yeah. G91 was a great plane. That was a Fiat. The flight model also received attention according to the developer. The aircraft's handling and roll and yaw has also been refined to reduce the previous version's slightly twitchy behaviour. That's why I want to try it. Despite the improvements, the release isn't entirely free of quirks. But some of them seem to be outside of the developer's control. For example, the aggressive new LOD system has prompted the developer to limit the external model to 0. However, they mentioned that this will be revised in future updates. So this thing probably won't be great looking at it at distance because it'll disappear. Other issues stem from the simulator bugs that affect icing and the environmental effects. For example, insect splatter on the windshield is currently non-functional, and the sim's logic for carburetor heat and injector anti-ice systems isn't working as intended. However, they are acknowledged as Microsoft FlightSim bugs and will likely be addressed in future updates. Still, the aircraft update is a solid step forward, particularly for pilots looking for light aircraft with military trainer routes and high-fidelity performance modelling. And with support for Xbox and PC, a persistent wear and tear system, much more refined flight model, the version seems ready for longer tours and also some more training hops, or even just Sunday joyrides. The aircraft is available right now from the InSim marketplace. I just can't get it to download. If you had this on 2020, there will be a way to get an upgrade. You can buy it through other stores. Skunk Works said they're going to be making this available on the other external sites over the coming weeks, and the upgrade price will be $14.99 for those who already had it in 2020. So I want to fly this tonight, so we'll see how we get on, right? But yeah, we'll see what the crack is. Now, this one. We mentioned this on the news last night, and I said, you know what, I need to check it out. So it's the Propair Shark 600, right? Now, this is an aircraft available both in 2020 and 2024, all right? They've released their first kind of changelog to fix the pilot spawn issues, fixed instrument loading, fixed buggy canopy, although I'm looking at it and it's still a bit buggy, corrected the brake texture, added wear and tear for the rudder elevator, added chocks, canopy cover, and a few other bits. The updates are currently available on their website, and updates to Orbex and Sim markets are coming soon. So chances are the version I have is probably prior to this changelog, but I still want to jump in and have a look at this aircraft because this is an airplane that has been endorsed by the manufacturer and has actually been built to be a training aid for pilots of the real-world aircraft. Now, the Shark 600, I think, took place in a round-the-world flight by a young lady. I think she was 18 or 19 years of age, flew around the world in one of these things. It's an interesting machine, and the cockpit in particular looks gorgeous. So we're going to check this one out. Also, the price, this is around $5 or $6 depending on. It's about $5.50 or something. Good value, right? She was 17? Jesus. I've no news yet, Tarnish, but I know that Nick is flat out working on stuff. So, yeah. Moving on, Blackbird Simulations. We've seen a little update for their 310R, right? Their Cessna 310R. And two betas came out. Fixed the crash with panel instruments when starting FlightSim 24. I've had that. Now, Blackbird Simulation states that, you know, the aircraft is a 2020 product, but it should be able to work okay in 2024, right? Fixed the crash on the panel of ATC ID to individual liveries. Therefore, 2024 aircraft save, restore, and error status is the same for all liveries as ATC ID is ignored. Okay. They fixed the failure of transponder power on, battery master. Rarely, if the transponder still fails to power on, the user should restart the flight. So there's probably a couple of small little issues. We've flown this in 24. It was fairly okay. Let's see how it goes. But anyone who has the aircraft, just be aware, this is a quality airplane. General aviation, this is a beaut. The 310, the Cessna 310, it's gorgeous. So yeah, let's see. They've released a small little update for it, so make sure you grab it. Now, Bluebird Simulations. These lads are going to be at Expo. They've shared new 757 previews, and they're going to be giving hands-on demos at FlightSim 2025, FlightSim Expo. We already knew that Bluebird Simulations would be exhibiting at FlightSim Expo this year, but now it's been confirmed the team will have a computer set up with the long-awaited 757 available to fly. Bluebird Simulations have said whilst they don't know if they have any release information during Expo, they will certainly be there in person with a booth so you can visit the team and discuss the upcoming plane. Thanks to Thrustmaster and WinWing, you'll be able to fly it with some nice hardware too. Ooh, nice. Now, again, pinch of salt with this one. I'm super excited about Bluebird simulations and all the stuff they're doing. And the 757 is one of my favorite airliners of them all. It's a narrow body. It was the first commercial aircraft I flew on. I just like the 757. I like the cut of it, you know. But this thing has been hyped, and then when they finished hyping it, they hyped it some more. We need to get hands-on, and now is our chance at FlightSim Expo. We'll definitely get in front of this thing and give it a blast and just kind of get an idea of what it's like, right? Yeah, it's. I'm super excited to see how they go with this. So definitely at Expo, I'll be checking it out, and I'd love to get a chat with Bluebird because they had a huge presentation last year, but it was like, hey, we're still working on stuff, but hey, look at this, and hey, look at that, but don't worry, we're still working on stuff. Another year has passed, and we don't have release dates yet, but I'm still excited for this project, man. I'm really, really looking forward to that 757. So let's see what happens. Damn, I'm good as here. Good to see you. Now, FlightSim Studio have announced a release date for the 727 passenger variant. I saw Chewy fly this earlier on. According to their announcement, the 727 passenger version is scheduled to be released tomorrow, Thursday, with the release time planned somewhere between 10 and 2 UTC. Right, the passenger variant will be priced similarly to the freighter version at around €40, though pricing may be different across different stores. Additionally, a 20% cross-grade discount will be available for existing owners of the freighter version, but the offer is limited to purchases outside of the Microsoft FlightSim marketplace. So they're giving it a 20% discount between the freighter and the passenger. Based on what I've looked at so far, there's very, very, very little in the difference between the freighter or the cargo. Avionics appear to be the same. Performance, thereabouts. There's certainly different features and, modeling differences. But yeah, I mean, it seems a little bit, 20% off. Yeah, like well, $4 was 10%. So it's $8 off. Yeah. So you get €8 off. Yeah, sure. Let's see what happens. I don't know. It's a great airplane. The 727 freighter. It's really, really nice. I love what they've done with it, but my heart is still set on what Raoul is going to do. FS Reborn and also Alex from Sim Works Studios. Like, I'm really looking forward to their 727 because it's going to go out. It's going to be out there. So I don't know, lads. I think, FlightSim Studios have done a great job with their 727. There's no question about it. It is a fairly detailed monstrosity of an aircraft, and you got to love the tri-jets, right? But yeah, they released the cargo variant first. Now they have a passenger variant. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Does anyone have this? Does anyone have the 727? They need to focus on the E-jets. Well, they have a separate team working on the E-jets. So the guys who are doing the Boeing 727, very different teams. They keep them separate, Zith has the 727, just not the PAX variant. Yeah, it's a great airplane. But my heart is kind of holding out for FS Reborn and Sim or Studios. But anyway, it's available tomorrow, which is great news. Now, moving on, IniBuilds updates Heathrow, Johannesburg, Brisbane, and the A300-6. Ooh. IniBuilds sent us their weekly roundup email, that we got last week, and these are the changes that they're doing. London Heathrow, the latest update brings the build to version 1.03, which includes fixes to the jetways to prevent collisions, along with other changes and fixes to the other objects clipping in certain areas. There are now additional A380 gates at both Terminal 3 and Terminal 5. And in the real world, don't be anywhere near Terminal 5 because it's a KIP. Ask me how I know. But anyway, the IniBuilds have done an incredible job with the airport itself. So nice changes there. Johannesburg, and smaller update, bringing an important fix. The team has removed the trees near a certain taxiway, which was introduced in Sim Update 1 for FlightSim 2024. Taxi signage was also corrected for Alpha as well. Brisbane, a range of smaller fixes for Brisbane was issued last week, including the removal of some stray trees, correction of some of the domestic park markings, and also the new ground frequencies for the north-south and domestic areas. Next up then we have the A300, a hotfix release focusing on the cockpit visuals. There was some cleanup of the windscreen reflections and also improved how the rain is cleared from the glass. So, nice touch there, right? IniBuilds have been flat out. And I know, like, I know some of the other projects they're working on in the background. Like, they are the most busy development team. But it's mad how they do it. They release an aircraft. They've someone else in the team working on a different project. And, like, the guys who do one project don't touch or even think about the next project until they go through all the fixes. And then when they do, then say, right, she's good to go, fixed, patched. Then they start moving ahead on something else. And then they come back around again. Like, it's incredible what they do. Do you know what I mean? Goat friends, good to see you. Has FlightSimware made any odd statement about making their products 2024 compatible? Goat friend, you can actually fly the Sierra 24 on FlightSim 2024. They have done patches on them. So the 414 Chancellor, the C24 Sierra, and also the Learjet 35, they all work inside FlightSim 2024. Couple of small little botsits to be careful of, but by and large, yeah, I've found them to be okay. Has anyone seen anything different with the FlightSimware stuff or FlightSimware? I think they've been pretty good. So great news there from IniBuilds. Now, lads, a new developer. Is it Aether or Ether? Ether? How do you pronounce that? Simulation. They've announced Manchester Airport. It's getting developed by a newcomer into the world of flight simulation. They're called Ether Simulation. They've announced a brand new rendition of Manchester Echo Golf Charlie Charlie for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Manchester Airport, the third busiest in the United Kingdom, handling over 23 million passengers a year. It's also used by Virgin Atlantic, TUI, EasyJet, Jet2, and so on. In the limited numbers of previews provided, we can see the ground details and nearby airport buildings along with the THG Studios building. So yeah, it's looks the job. Ooh. Be interesting to see. The screenshots and information were shared with FS News, where you can find additional screenshots. No mention of a release date or pricing or further details were shared. However, the version of Manchester joins others from Mako Simulations, which I thought was pretty good, and of course Thai models. But I had the Mako one. That wasn't bad at all, you know? Right. Orbex Melbourne Airport has been released for FlightSim 2024. Orbex have officially released Melbourne International Yankee Mike Mike Lima for the new simulator, offering a fully compatible version of its detailed scenery for Australia's second busiest airport. It's a free upgrade for those who purchased the FlightSim 2020 version, and you can now get 2024 edition at no extra cost via your Orbex Central. It was developed by Orbex's in-house team led by Sasha Norman. The version of this airport has been updated to take advantage of FlightSim 2024's new rendering engine while maintaining the level of detail simmers have come to expect. The scenery is based on the layout as of May 2023, following recent expansions that brought the airport to a total of 4 terminals and 68 gates, served by more than 40 airlines. Ooh. The release covers not just the airside elements, but also a wide range of landside features, interior terminal modelling, custom PBR material, detailed ground service equipment assets contribute to a busy and realistic environment. They also recreated the Melbourne jet base, complete with the preserved DC-3 Canona, and included more than 12,000 accurately placed cars and some 1,400 streetlights. So, great news there. Great news there. May also be worth mentioning is the FlightSim 2024 compatibility from Flight Tampa, Athens, Greece. Did that just get announced, Roy? I didn't see that. Now, Scott, are you sitting down? Imagine Sim have released Dallas Fort Worth Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. One of the world's busiest and largest hubs now available, courtesy of Imagine Sim. There's a couple of things not yet included. They don't have the tram car thingy-majig. But it is a major release, right? Dallas is huge, both in size and in scope. I mean, the airport itself, spanning over 17,000 acres, it's larger than Manhattan Island. 88 million passengers, and it's a core hub for American Airlines and a key cargo gateway, and it connects to over 260 destinations worldwide. Now, it's only available for FlightSim 2020 at this time. And there's a couple of limitations. There's something to do with like the tram. There's just a couple of small little things to be done. Now, they have said a 2024 compatible version is forthcoming, and it will be free for those of you who purchased the 2020 version. So you can pick it up. It's £24.99, right? Not the cheapest, but it's a huge airport. We showed this video last week just to give you an idea of the scope. It's massive, lads. It's absolutely friggin' huge. And this is an airport that has been badly missed in the sim, you know? It's a massive airport. For that price, you're getting what? 6 terminals, 7 terminals? 17,000 acres of like airportage. It's a huge hub, right? I'll probably pick it up and we'll show it off next week. If anyone's interested, if you're thinking of buying it, let me buy it first. We'll check it out. And then if you like what you see, we're sure we can go off then and grab it. But it is a huge airport. And it's just one of those kind of important releases because you're going to hopefully now start seeing a lot of traffic flying into Dallas, which would be great. It's missing stuff, but I hope they continue to add things to it. Yeah. Everything's bigger in Texas, for sure. Now, lads, SayIntentions, right? Their AI Living World, or Living World as they call it, launches. And it has launched. It's gone to partners already. Now, it's a first step. It's very much an alpha product right now. This is the initial alpha kind of test release to see how the bit of software works. Now, we saw the trailer videos of it. And what this does, when they say their AI Living World, at the moment, this is very much fixed at traffic injection. And each of the traffic aircraft are being controlled by their own ATC, which is quite staggering because each of the pilots have their own identity, their own behaviors, and they're on their own flight. Yeah. So it makes it very, very realistic in terms of, well, it feels real, right? Anyway, the partner program, they opened up this last night. I did stay up at stupid o'clock beyond my bedtime to give it a blast and see where things are at. So we know the deal with me and SayIntentions. We're partnered together to help each other out really when it comes to, you know, the direction that these guys are going. We can share some news and also provide some feedback. So I was chatting to Brian and he said, yeah, Murph, you can chat about it. They're keeping all of this relatively hush-hush for now. The reason being is they're basing this as an alpha. And what they mean by that is the alpha is not ready for, you know, public release. It's going to be broken. This is proof of concept and get the initial feedback from a user base, open it up to a controlled user base and say, hey, what do you think, lads? Yeah, we like it. Or no, this is broken. This works. That doesn't work. Can we get this? Less of that, more of this. That's what the alpha stage is. So it's all part of the rollout of this project. And lads, this is a huge project. It's a massive project, right? So I want to share with you some images that I took last night of this. So what I did, and these are my initial findings, right? What I did, I loaded into the sim and I went to Dublin Airport. And I'd all the multiplayer stuff turned off. I'd all the real world, I'd everything turned off. It was just me sitting in my little plane. And then I turned on SayIntentions, right? And within about 40 seconds, less maybe 30 seconds, all of a sudden things started happening. And what I mean by that is aircraft started appearing, radio chatter started happening, and I could now hear and see what was going on. They base this on it's an angle of, okay, we have the real world data here, let's go and use that, but they have to be smart about it because if it's only real world traffic, well, sure, where do you fit into that? Do you know what I mean? So it's all balanced, but I want to show you some of these pictures. So now they are only screenshots, but so I loaded into Dublin and the model matching that I'm using, and that's what it works with, it's using FSLTL. So they're the models that it's injecting in. But when I loaded them in from the aircraft, so from these AI generated aircraft or traffic injected aircraft, you know, you have the visual models, the liveries, they were at the correct stands, you have lighting and you have sounds of the aircraft. Then when you're jumping into the ATC, as in my aircraft, and you're tuning into ground, just have a listen. Well, you're hearing different pilots reporting from different locations, ATC reporting back to them, giving them a pushback, then the aircraft pushes back, then they're getting taxied. It was like, Jesus, the whole thing is actually, it is now very much alive because you're getting the ATC stuff, right? Now, pinch of salt. Some of the features aren't even ready to be rolled out yet. I didn't see any massive issues. Yeah, there's like different kind of injection settings of how many do you want. So like you can crank it from, it's like a slider. I did notice in Shannon, I couldn't get any traffic to appear. I went to Cork, I got traffic. It's all airliner traffic for now. However, it's quite incredible. So that was one screenshot. Then the dude started taxiing, right? And you know the way SayIntentions have their taxi tuner. So this is where the feedback from the community is massive. So if you see an aircraft kind of taking a taxi route that doesn't seem right for that airport, well, you go in and you start editing the taxi tuner on their website, and then they inject that back into the platform. Like, it's mad, right? Mad. So mainly Aer Lingus. There was United at the gate as well. And then I said, Jesus, bring the camera down the ramp and just sit in tight here. And if you actually look closely, there's actually, that was an Embraer. There was an Embraer taxiing. Now, he did take off from 1.6, and I was like, well, that wouldn't happen. Or no, not 1.6, 3.2. I said, well, they rarely use that. But again, like for this alpha, I was very, very impressed to say, well, hang on. Aircraft appeared in the right liveries at the right gates. There was chatter. There was, you can hear what was going on. And the models and the taxiing and the movement was all very smooth. The biggest thing that shocked the socks off me, zero impact on frames. And I mean zero. Nothing. Turned it on. Poof, traffic. Oh yeah. Looked at my frame rate. Looked at all the usage. Everything the same. Turned off the traffic. Like for like. Incredible. It's a great leap into the right direction. This is going to be a very long and hard road, no doubt. But they're doing all the heavy lifting on their side. They're tracking the flights. They're figuring out where things are. So it's not coming down to your machine at all. It's just being streamed to you. Quite incredible, right? No extra usage at all. Dan, there was nothing on my system that showed any increase by having this gadget on or off. Nothing. It's crazy, right? But anyway, I wanted to show you these to say, lads, this is now coming at us. How soon, when it's all fully ready and it's exactly as designed? It could be years. I mean, think about it. I mean, they're building this AI living world. This is kind of the first step. Traffic injection. And while there's no kind of previews or reviews or any of that jazz, it's far too early on. Now is just the stage to get their partners. You can become a partner with SayIntentions, sign up to become a partner. You have access to all this stuff well before anyone else does. And the Discord lit up with everyone trying out different things last night. I saw some screenshots from other airports. The amount of traffic was just unbelievable. This is really exciting because it's as I say, it's a giant leap in the right direction. It's very exciting to see where this is going to be, in a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and even a couple of years, this technology. So SayIntentions, I've always said it, I say it again, it's not just the ATC that these guys are doing. When you think about it, Skynet, SkyOps, the living world, there's so many different things these guys are working on. It's quite exciting. But anyway, early days yet. Very early days yet. But I just wanted to report back on my findings to say what I saw last night. I was like, damn, that's good. Do you have to have FSLTL running or was it streamed? So you need FSLTL running because it's using that model system. There's a couple of ideas being floated around. I saw that I think they were getting Just Flight's traffic able to work. AIG was mentioned, and they might even use their own. They can also use the in-sim traffic as well, as in the models. But again, this is early days for them. They're going to see what's the most efficient way. I mean, that's what they want. They need the product to be very good because they've real competition. There is real competition out there. So they can't go out and release a product that isn't ready. Hence, that's what they're doing, this kind of structured or tiered kind of release. But what I saw last night, I was sitting there and I said, this is deadly. Can you imagine what this is going to be like in a couple of years? Like you're listening, whatever it was, Shamrock 2 Bravo Mike, pushing back gate, blah, blah, blah. And then the pilot is saying, yeah, I'm now pushing back from, I was like, holy crap, how did that happen? Brilliant. Really, really good. So anyway, great news there from SayIntentions. That's just one of their products. They're busy working on this, of course. SayIntentions are also going to be at FlightSim Expo. So, you can definitely check it out from there. So, that was really exciting. Really exciting. There's a time lapse here to give you an idea, right? Have a look at this. This will just show you kind of what the product can do, yeah? Disappear my mallet here for a second. Have a look at this now. You just see the movement of aircraft. This is a time-lapse from their own kind of demos as they're running in. And each of these aircraft, they have their own unique identity. Isn't that mad? Like, it's AI injected traffic. It's kind of mad, right? So the future is very, very bright. It's a time lapse of all the aircraft moving, isn't it deadly? Early days yet, but I'm telling you, it's going to be class. It's going to be class. So that's all there. Have a read up on it, lads. Very, very exciting, right? So I'm going to move on. FlightSim Expo 2025. They've mentioned some of their extracurricular activities. Some of these include an airside tour. You can take on an escape room. I think we need to do that. Do you know? Attend a rave. Sure, listen, right? And more with new add-on experiences. So plenty of opportunities outside of the main FlightSim Expo. And they do all of these things each year at each of the venues they go to. So it's not just going to the FlightSim Expo. There's a whole load of stuff that you can do in these areas. I know in Vegas, we were looking at like renting a tank to blow stuff up. You do mad stuff, right? Anyway, there's a whole load of different events that are going to be on these add-on experiences. And there was chat in our own Discord in relation to, you know, the ATC Air Traffic Control Tour. There's certain things that outside US, or, you know, US citizens, right? So there's an airside tour. We get a full tour of the airside part of the airport, excluding the air traffic control, because that's just a US security thing. All right. So, yeah. Brilliant stuff. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I don't want to make any plans yet. I tend to be shocking busy. I say I'm shocking busy. I'd be dying of a hangover. But I say I'd be shocking busy at Expo because I'm trying to get around as many folks as I can to see as many folks as I can. We'll see how we go. Do you know? But I'm really, really looking forward to it. Laminar Research are looking after a rave on Friday night. The Salon nightclub, the X-Rave. So I can only imagine you're going to have, you know, Austin Meyer, probably Swiss, right? And all sorts of dancing and acting. It's going to be some crack, isn't it? A rave, like, it'll be brilliant. So I think there's going to be a lot of cool and fun stuff to do. Then you have all the various different workshops that are running over the weekend as well. There's tons of stuff going on. We'll try and get around with a camera to as many of these things as we can, right? But yeah, I mean, does X-Plane are doing a rave? What? This is going to be hilarious. Still looking forward to any sort of an announcement from Microsoft, because they tend to do like a mixer or whatever on one of the nights. Now, as we're talking about Laminar, well, X-Plane 12.2, they've released another beta for X-Plane 12.2. And this one, new background image has been added. Very nice. Yeah, we'll take that. Birds no longer guaranteed to spawn at a nearby airport. So anyone who's in X-Plane the last little while, any airport you start up with, there was a whole load of birds. It was like a Stephen King movie. All aircraft are now considered for startled behaviour. So it was all the birds that needed to fix because the birds went mad. Birds, Eddie, birds. They went mad, right? Anyway, they've adjusted the sky colours, brand new colours, and significantly improved. They also improved a lot of the performance. They've done a bit of rendering for the VR. They've also added some avionics updates here as well. So it's just a beta. But X-Plane 12.2.0, beta 2. I reckon they'll probably have 4 betas. Then they'll start getting into the release candidates, I would think. So great news there. Now, Navigraph, look at our time, Murph. Navigraph have released their community survey results, right? And this is interesting. Wait, now, is this the right one? April, yeah. So, the most recent Navigraph survey has been done. Dougal McTavish, the chairman, bloody hell, lurking at how many months? 50 months, Dougal. Thank you very, very much indeed. Hope you're well. So, I read the full survey. Nothing really shouting up to say here's a dramatic change. We've seen the introduction, of course, of the Lido charts with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and flight planning within the sim. So that's come in on its own. That's introduced itself. But I still think Navigraph and SimBrief They're by far the most popular. Airliners still the most popular. Phoenix topping that list of aircraft. It was good to see general aviation turboprops kind of appear into this realm as well. The age groups of folks who are flying, no real changes. It's more of a continuation. One thing I will say though, we're seeing a much higher usage of FlightSim 2020 at the moment. Some over 50% of folks are saying they're using FlightSim 2020 as their main sim. FlightSim 2024 came in at, that came in at around kind of 20 odd percent, and then X-Plane, and then down and away she goes then after that. I saw a noticeable drop from DCS usage, but that's probably because, well, this is aimed at flight simmers more than, we say, combat flight simmers perhaps. But yeah, it was interesting to see where they're at. You can kind of see the layout there. 52% on 2020, 25%, let's call it, on 24, and then a significant drop on the other simulators, which makes sense, right? The compatibility, definitely a thing. The amount of folks who are still using flight sims, when it comes to, you know, do they have real world experience or not? Overwhelmingly, we don't, right? And from the age groups who are using the sims, it's still aimed at kind of, you know, the late teens, mid 20s, which makes sense. Folks are saying, hey, this is pretty cool. And then they go off and, you know, they go into the career element. And then the age brackets, well, they kind of, you know, taper off after that. Most people are flying for 2 to 3 hours a session, and most folks are flying probably 7 to 10 hours a week. Again, we're able to see all of that thing. What was the major? Realism still rules, yeah. The store shuffle, one of the more unexpected insights. So they said that the marketplace, which was once the undisputed leader, Microsoft FlightSim in-game marketplace, based on last year, it's seen a massive drop on usage with IniBuilds after passing it. Now, that's probably down to the releases that IniBuilds have pushed out this year. It makes a lot of sense. But we're seeing now actually a reduction based on the 23,000 people who completed the survey. There's more people using external marketplaces than they are with the in-game marketplace. Now, again, it makes sense. The in-game marketplace only went live a number of weeks ago. You know what I mean? I still think the capability of the in-sim marketplace, once the thing works, it's going to be very competitive against the other stores. And I mean, like, you know, very competitive, because the marketplace has all these extra things there by gifting, renting, try before you buy, all this stuff. So I reckon the in-game marketplace is going to probably, this time next year, I'd say it's going to be 60%. You know what I mean? So let's see what happens. Most users are looking forward to the 757, followed closely by the 747. It's an airliner pilot dominated franchise. It is, right? I mean, it's airliner pilot dominated, which is fine. I mean, we all know it. I mean, airliners are way more popular. General aviation, not so much. But I would still give that a little bit of time, because I know, like, look at lads, with FlightSim 2024, there is no doubt about it. The scenery is absolutely incredible, especially when compared to other platforms. But even when you look at FlightSim 2020, the scenery in 24, it's just on the next level. And that was actually one of the more voted on features folks wanted in a flight sim. What do you want? What's the most important thing to you? Is it scenery? Is it flight model? Is it, you know, realism? Is it the weather? Scenery came out on top. People want the most realistic scenery. That's good. So let's see what happens. The full results are available. You can read down through each and every page. There's some very interesting features of it. Navigraph, they did a great job once again. It's a very detailed survey. It's not just, hey, what you like? All right, when do you like it? They go into an awful lot of detail. And there's nothing really that's going to make you go, oh, Bejanie, then. It's following the trends that our community is doing. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing there going, wow, I didn't know that. But yeah, like, I mean, look, you can see it here. What's the single best flight simulation product release in the last 12 months? Like, FlightSim 24 wasn't even, like, okay, well, it's very close, but like, the biggest, what was the best product in the last 12 months? Phoenix got the prize there, right? So yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Another way looking at it, there's a lot looking forward to the airliners, but comparatively, we're very GA rich with different options. Yeah. And again, lads, I'll always say this, with the airliners that are available, it's a heavily saturated market when it comes to Airbus, right? A couple of the Boeings are there now, but that's before we start unleashing all the general aviation aircraft that are currently in development. I think once they start appearing, you know, your FS Reborn stuff, IniBuilds are working on GA stuff, Just Flight are working on GA stuff, A2A, of course. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on the way. Black Square, of course. There's so many great stuff on the way. You're going to see those numbers change a little bit. You know what I mean? So anyway, it was a great survey. Always very, very interesting. And as I said, if you want to have a read down through the whole gadget, read Navigoff's blog, you can download the full survey. No personal data included. I'll just give you the link here to msfsaddons.com. And if you want to read further on that, lads, have a look at the links down below. Now, VATSIM events coming up this weekend. Let me see here. We'll ramble into Saturday. We do have... where was this one I was looking at? Rio Sao Paulo Airbridge is happening over the weekend. Brazil's two busiest cities every Friday from 23 to 0200 Zulu or 0230. Santos Dumont, and that's going to be flying down to a number of Brazilian airports. Do be sure to check that out on Friday night late into Saturday morning. Right? Saturday morning. Energizer, can't wait for the next A2A stuff. Yeah, it's coming along. It's coming along, man. The Aerostar, gorgeous. Across the pond, westbound is happening next weekend. It is. That's going to be all busy next weekend. But yeah, lots of stuff going on there. So that'll do us for the news. Let us now check out some of the add-ons we were going to have a look on this evening. So first and foremost, this is the Propair Shark 600, and we're also looking at a new release coming through from Aerosoft of Dortmund Airport. All right. So Dortmund Airport, Echo Delta Lima Whiskey, medium-sized regional airport in Western Germany, destinations within Germany, and of course neighbouring countries like France, Switzerland, Poland, and so on. The routes are served with the likes of Lufthansa, Eurowings, Pegasus, all Wizz Air, you name it. And well, the scenery itself, it includes all the facets of a detailed and modern airport scenery, such as custom ground markings, signage, static ground vehicles, apron lighting, custom jetways, modelled interiors, and dynamic passengers waiting inside the terminal. It also comes with a GSX profile. The scenery also has covered the general aviation area, which is home to a local flight school. And you can pick up Dortmund right now over on the Aerosoft website for about €15 plus the tax, right? So we'll check out the airport while we're here in the aircraft. So we'll have a quick ramble around. I do like the style of this airport. It's a single runway, right? And again, lads, this was all just installed before the stream started. So my responses are going to be yours, right? So we'll have a look at the whole layout of the place. It's quite a large airport, but it's a single runway, yeah? So tons of cars, right? Very good. Let's come down here then by the land side. Got a couple of trees coming in here now. Got some nice buildings. This looks to be the Flughafen Dortmund, all right? And the car models, very, very basic, aren't they? But again, that's going to help with your FPS, I'm sure. Then again, they are just a Prius. Brutal. Nice textures here on the hangar. No interior, I would imagine, but it looks nice. Yeah. Okay. Just kind of static buildings. This area was fairly well done. The modelling done, right? I tend to do kind of engine run-up tests and all that for some of the heavies in there. And we got some service buildings, more hangars, a couple of more static vehicles on the ground. Looks the job. The building itself, I mean, it looks the part. No Skodas from what I can see. No Skodas. That's an unusual looking building. It's a multi-story car park. Look. No Skoda. Oh, wait. Oh, hang on. Now, granted, it's the weirdest looking design of a car you've ever seen. But it is a Skoda, right? UTV is here. Good to see you, man. So more of the vehicles down here. Again, I suppose, look, some of the other models, look, they're pretty good. Actually, very good. The Volkses are pretty good. Yeah, so some of the car models, they get better, but oh jeez. But yeah, oh, that's a Beamer. There's a mix of car models, but we're not going to get bogged down with all the car models, are we? So let's ramble over this way. Bit of terrain weirdness with the airport, isn't there? More stuff happening up here. LOD is good. There's a clutter of clatter down here, look. There's people waiting to get onto the planes. Any old minute there now, lads. We'll get you sorted. Hello, how are you going? They're waving at the camera. Look, hello, how are you going? All that's very good. Here's a fella. Here's a man in a high-vis. I'm a little teapot. Moving on. Here we have some cabin crew. That's right. Yes, yes. Animated people. The jetway is nice. Oh, yeah, that is nice. And then we have the tower. Basic, but decent. It's a nice, that's a weird place for, that has to be like the ground tower, is it? Or is that the actual tower? That's the actual tower. Jesus. It's a great visibility, but that's got to be the lowest ATC tower we've ever seen, is it? Oh, we have an interior here as well, look. Okay. I thought that sign said Weasel News. Brilliant. Weasel News. Okay, so they put in animated people walking around the terminal interior. But Jesus, actually, it is pretty good up here, isn't it? No sounds, unfortunately, but look, that's the thing. Ryanair. I like the style of the buildings here. They're nice. Jesus, did they do all in here as well? They did. They did. They did a lot of the interior, lads. All right. Let's move on down. Here's another tower. This must be the tower, lads, isn't it? Yes, that's the tower. So there's your control tower. The other one must have been just a ground tower. Would that be right? Jesus, Bernice, it mightn't happen. Right, now over here, more cars. Loads of Jesus, there is, isn't there? There's loads of static stuff on the ground. Cars, vans, trucks. Oh, that's nice as well. Now that's your logistics little building, is it? Hertz and trucks and the local Rosers. It's pretty good. Taxiway is nice. The taxiway signage is bang on, isn't it? Ooh. Very nice. Someone put parachute as a hardware peripheral that they use. Yep. Got a VOR station that's animated. Nice touch. And then there's our main runway. Do you know what? It's a nice airport, this one. Look at the area it's in. Isn't it beautiful? Let's change the time of day. What's the old airport nighttime lighting like? Okay. Oh, I like that. The lighting's good. The lighting is good. Pappy's work. Let's ramble up this way. Oh, jeez, the terminal lighting is nice, isn't it? Look at those blues, lads. The taxiway lights, there's a hint of purple about them, isn't there? Yeah, that blue lighting, though. Yeah, that's not bad. So there's the tower. Lighting's pretty good. Mystic, good to see you, man. Some of the spill lighting out in the apron. Yeah, it's decent. Seems a little bit bright over some of the jetways, but again, it's done quite well. The interior is lit up very well. Yeah, lads, this is pretty decent. Pretty decent. I just like this. I just like the kind of general layout of the airport. As I say, like single runway, and we have some general aviation stuff in there as well. Yeah, nice touch. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Right, bring it back down to daytime. So that's our first airport we're going to show off. That's Dortmund, right? Anyone been here in the real world? Is it accurate? I mean, is it what you guys remember seeing the thing? There's a little bit of photogrammetry trying to kind of intrude, so it probably needs an update just to kind of fix some of the photogrammetry. You know? It looks pretty good. So we're up this neck of the woods. Now, I don't know, is this where the general aviation is? That's like the old terminal. We've got more hangars up here. But we're going to start off down here with a little airplane, right? Because this one, friends, what we're going to look at here, well, this is the Propair Shark 600. And well, the aircraft itself, it's from the manufacturer. It's to be used as a training aid for their own pilots. That's what they were doing here, right? So we're going to have to check it out. So visually from the exterior, it works in both 2020 and 2024. I suspect this is the one prior to the latest patch that they did, right? So looking at the aircraft, well, let's look at some of the details. Let's get up close and personal to it. So the model work is pretty good. Nothing sharp or sticking out there. Nice detail on the wheels. And that carbon fibre there as well. The wheels look superb. Spring, it looks pretty decent. That's a strange kind of a shock absorber for the flap. It's just a big spring. You got the exhaust coming out there. Air intake coming down onto the rear landing gear. Yeah, that looks pretty good. There's nice detail on that, lads, isn't there? Jesus, look at the detail. Brake discs, hydraulic lines coming up, all these sorts of springs and pulleys. We got more stuff up here. Great, it's great detail in that. Okay. The rest of the aircraft fairly straightforward. It's very modern. Okay, no step. Don't step there. That's how we open the cabin, or open the canopy. Caution, ballast connector. All right. Prop is there. We do have an engine intake. It looks as if the engine is actually modelled under that, doesn't it? Or at least some of it is. Yeah. And then a carbon fibre prop as well. That's pretty nice, isn't it? Look at that. And again, it's that kind of tandem kind of a setup as well. It's nice, isn't it? Right, let's jump inside. Look at the state of this. Now, don't ask me what I'm doing, but we're going to try and learn it together. Here's the canopy. Okay, that's nice. What else we need? Seat adjuster. Can't do anything with that. Let's look that side. Gas prop and choke. Interesting. We do have a remove before flight. That's the emergency parking brake. Oh, emergency parachute. Jesus, Murphy, don't go near it. Right, it's okay, lads. Shark center of gravity calculation, and we got a little QR code there. All right. What else do we have here now? So engine cooling, that's all grand. Fuel tank selector, that's grand. Beautiful detail on the seats, isn't there? Can we get into the back? We can get into the back. Okay. Something tells me we're going to have incredible visibility here. Right. Right, close this. Okay. Can we open our little window here now? Oh, look, a little mirror there, look. Alright, avionics, all modern. Master battery. Okay. Avionics. Smoke. Nice, okay, we got some smoke here to play with. Engine start, fuel pump flaps, trim, landing gear, autopilot, heat, position lights, EF is turned on. That's our main screen here. Landing gear toggle switch. All right. Oh, look at the animation on the pedals. Look even with the... Oh, Jesus, that's very good. Look at even at the cable there. Yeah, that's nicely done. Okay, that's decent. What else we have? So, side stick control. Sound are good. Seat adjuster, can't do that. What's down here now? We have emergency release. Don't go near it, Murphy. What's this now? This is your heat vent. Okay, no sounds though when it comes to engine cooling. That's interesting. Okay. Prop. Choke. So lift and turn for off. Okay, let's assume that's in the right position. What's this do now? That's your parking brake. All right. All right, parking brake, engine start. I don't see anything by way of mags. Internal lighting. I like this setup. Menu. Okay, so the buttons don't work, but you can press on the screen and then that works. Oh, that's kind of nice. Look at this. This is all very custom. Flight panel, display, transponder. 1200. On. Okay. Barrow, reset. Mags 1 and 2. Fuel pump want to be next. No audio from the fuel pump. Okay, shall we see what happens? Clear prop. No, doesn't want to play. What did we forget? Oh, engine start, look. Solenoid switch. Clear prop. That's a nice start. How does she sound outside, lads? It's like a road tax, isn't it? Yep. She ain't bad. Alright. What do we have here? So, landing gear. These are like circuit breakers, right? Let's go with that. So, mags are okay. Autopilot is here. It does have a smoke generator in it. Sweet. I don't know what that does. Air traffic. Air traffic alarm. Don't know what that is. Landing gears, that's okay. Flaps. Trim. There go the flaps. Okay, so the flaps work. Alright, let's come off the brakes. Give ourselves a little bit of a turn. What do we think? It's pretty, isn't it? Let's rumble out. It's a well-clipped little plane, yeah. It's a glider T-cast. Is that what it is? Okay. Look at the little antennas there as well, look. I like that. That's just little... That's just attention to detail, look. As Murphy immediately went off the grass. Alright, let's have a look. Are they like USB inputs? They are. Jesus, the hill here. We didn't think this one through. Jesus. Eek! We're alright. Alright. Not a taxiway, it's a roadway. There's the taxiway. The avionics are nice.
Hello there.
Hello there. Welcome in. This was access road, not the taxiway. That's okay. Hello, Rafi. Good to see you, man. It's a Suzuki, Jimmy. Welcome in, Mr. Tommy. How are you, man? It's, well, we'll find out now when we try to take off. Jesus, Dortmund, how'd you get onto your runway? It's a long way down the hill. We'll go over this way, look. And we'll take off with the wind behind us because we're mad like that. What about the night lighting of this thing? I suspect it'd be basic, yeah? Okay. Do we have any internal lights? Engine cooling. Barrow. Lighting. Like avionics lighting? LG dim. Nice lighting, isn't it? Lighting's good, lads. Alright. Let's see how the thing flies. I haven't flown this yet, so, you know, beautiful reflections. A little bit of a kind of a flicker, but I did read on some of the release notes they fixed all this. Let's see what happens. The avionics are nice. They're very clear. Good to see. Alright, let's go flying. Good sounds. Jesus, it's a rocket ship. Yepsy daisy. Gear up. 130 knots. Jesus. It can move. $150 knots? Oh, we can mess with the prop. Don't know how well the governor's working, but let's go with it. Alright. So let's check how she trims. There's a bit of P-factor, so it's going to roll left a little bit. We'll counteract that with a little bit of trim. Alright. So it's responsive to the trim inputs. We like that. Look at the speed, 250 now. It's kilometers. Aha! Jesus. I wonder, can we change that? Kilometers per hour. Menu. PFD. No. Engine tools. No. Maps. Okay, so all this we can't do anything with these. So it looks the part, but in actual fact, we can't do much with it. Okay. Well, that's a pity. Then again, it is only a $5. Still pretty rapid though. Yeah, it is. Right, let's have a blast of some handling here, right? So, well, first and foremost, we'll try a couple of turns here. Yeah, it's very fluid in the air. Very fluid. It rolls nicely. Okay. Alright, try an ailer. Well, try a barrel roll. Easy does it. Oh, it's very fluid. Alright, try a little bit of rudder input. Very sensitive on the rudder. Great for slips though. Alright, getting a bit of altitude here. Let's go for a stall, see what happens. Alright, kill the power. Power off stall. There's the warning. There's a stall. Wing didn't really dip. Let's see what happens now. What's our altitude? Try a power on stall, I suppose. Easy now, Jemima. It's doing that actually pretty well. It's holding 150 knots. There she goes. Easy. Nice prop animation. Alright, try now power on. Let's see what happens. She's climbing there at what? 2,500 feet? There's a stall. Alright. Easy now. Custom avionics for a $5, it's really good. Yeah, like they're basic, but yeah, it's you know. Wombat! Not knots, yeah, kph. Alright, let's see, can she spin? Kinda. It's actually quite a forgiving airplane. Right, smoke on. Yeah, we got some smoke. It's quite agile, lads. You know what I mean? I mean, you can certainly throw it around the place. Inverted flight? Oh, she doesn't like that roll. I don't know how good the fuel pump is, but let's see what happens. Yeah, she handles well. All right, smoke system is good. Let's check some of the prop sounds. So. Sounds good. All right, what about some gear animation? That's pretty good. Yeah, I don't think there's sounds of their own. There's definitely familiar stuff there. Sounds like VL3 sounds, yeah, you're probably right. But hey, look, it's not, this isn't bad, lads. It flies really well. This is really nice. It's very fluid. You've good sounds. The prop animation is real nice. You got lovely canopy reflections. You can fairly move, like, you know, the outside lighting, sure. I mean, it's basic. Alright, let's play with the autopilot. So, let me see. So, flaps. I don't know why that was flashing. Autopilot, so I'm going to put on the flight director. Heading. Autopilot on. Hold the altitude. Now, how do we adjust our heading? Let's see here now. Display warning map. No, so that's the map. So there's heading mode engaged, right? We'll make it bright so we can kind of see what's going on. So we nose up or nose down. You have a level button. That doesn't seem to work. It doesn't do vertical speed or indicated speed. VNav doesn't work. Nav doesn't work. Source doesn't work. So you have heading and altitude. It's a very basic, rudimentary. So heading track, right turn. Barrow is good. Altitude, let's see if we can set, I don't know, 4,000, 3,900. And it's on alt mode. So she's holding an altitude. So it's very basic, isn't it? She's going to hold altitude and it'll follow a heading. It's very clear though. Direct to doesn't work. Nearest doesn't work. Info doesn't work. Flight plan no. Menu yes. Display no. Warning no. Or map. Pitot heat isn't on. So where's the pitot heat? Intercom. Landing gear. I don't see anything there for the pitot heat, do you? What about the choke? Will it run worse with the choke on? So it's kind of choke on or choke off. Alright. Autopilot coming off. Not a lot seems to work. Yeah, it seems to be pretty kind of, doesn't it? Don't you click the button. Hey, Crafty Tigers, good to see you. What's the cruise of this aircraft? I'm sure they work, you just need to configure everything first. What, as in these? So the buttons don't work, so that's... right? So you cannot just hit the touch screen. But there's nothing there that shows up. Lads, for the $5, this is really good. It's a nice machine. Like, it's a $5, you know what I mean? Above the autopilot, there is a heat switch. Yeah, but we have it here, yeah? Oh wait, why was it was off, now it's on. That's interesting. And the electrical system is working well. Okay. What do you think? Do you like it? I think she's not bad. I think she's not bad at all. If that's full deflection. Yeah, it's quite good. It handles really well. Oh, Father's game. Man, the Piston Duke, that's awesome. It's a nice little airplane, this, lads. For a fiver, yeah, I think, yeah. Nice touch, right? View from the back. Cool, you can control things from the back as well, nice. Interesting kind of perspective, isn't it? Alright, let's see what happens. There's a spin. Yeah, it flies really well. Listen, for the very first airplane, ain't nothing wrong with that, lads. And for a fiver as well, really, really good. Fair dues, man. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Right, into the dreaded marketplace, and hopefully this doesn't crash, because I want to try this Marchetti out, right? Let's see, can we buy this shagging thing now? Yes, we can, finally. Right. Please wait while we try to connect you. I better go over here in case it shares some of my details, like, Murphy, what's your favourite colour? And, you know, they mostly come at night. Right, press buttons here now in the background. Ah, this is terribly exciting, isn't it? Terribly exciting. So, this is the SIAI Marchetti, the SF260 Warrior. It's now yours. Thanks very much. Now, is this going to be streamed to me? I think it is. Too bad it came after the Gabrielle. Oh, the Gabrielle that's a phenomenal aircraft. Purchase processing. Please wait while the item is being set up. This is what I love about FlightSim 2024, lads. You know what I mean? The only real downside so far was the PFD stuff. But yeah, for a fiver, it looks good and fun. Yeah, it'd be interesting now to see if they add, you know, more features to the avionics. You know what I mean? But it's really nice. I thought it was really nice. Back at the head cam, brutal. Absolutely. These are brutal. These are brutal. Right, I'm just waiting for this to download, and we're going to take this now for a spin over Dusseldorf, a brand new airport from Aerosoft as well. Aerosoft kind of returning to their roots. I mean, their sceneries have always been nice, always. And yeah, well, this button worked, so let's go back to my screen over here. Look, is this the screen? I think it is. Yeah, look at that. Right, the item is yours. Brilliant. Now, manage in my library. So we're going to go ahead and fly this machine now. And that wouldn't work for me earlier on. It's mad, isn't it? So is it SIAI? Will she pop up? No. SAIA? No. SF. There she is. Right. Can we configure the aircraft? Let's see what happens now. Let's see what happens. We can. Now, she's probably not going to have the old Irish Air Corps colours that I want. Oh, she has American colours, look. Ew. I'll go with that, will we? It was great in earlier sim. Was it Real Air? No, so we had the same one. Jay Rollon did probably the best Marchetti in a flight sim, and that was over an X-Plane. Sim Skunk Works, they did a pretty good job. I actually kind of like that livery. Who's this from? IAF. Is that the Italians, is it? So we'll go with that, right? And when we need to go to Dusseldorf, so Dusseldorf. Ew. That's Dusseldorf, lads. Delta Lima, I think, isn't it? Ah, balls. You pressed that button already, Murph. Let's have a look. Let's see now. Echo Delta, Delta Lima. Not Dusseldorf? Yes. In there now. On it like a car bonnet. Look at the size of this airport. Right. We'll come down this neck of the woods and just... Careful now. We'll come down this neck of the woods. Start off here. And bring the time of day backwards. To something like that. Right. Now let's see what happens. So Dusseldorf. The German scenery was developed for the latest version of FlightSim by Joe Erlandsson and Lucas Verizoglu, it looks like. They previously worked on Aerosoft's Frankfurt and Oslo sceneries. Built exclusively for FlightSim 24, the scenery promises an accurate recreation of the two-runway airport in the west of Germany. Accurate models of airport buildings, the facilities, and an up-to-date airport layout with custom terrain elevation and mesh for the runway profiles. Ooh. Right, this seemed to have loaded fairly well. Yes, it's all coming together now, lads. It's coming together. Make sure all my controls are working. And don't forget, lads, if there's anything that you would like to see covered in the news, maybe there's an aircraft you're thinking of getting or a scenery, let me know over on Discord. I'm more than happy to pick up the stuff and, you know, put it through its paces. Because, you know, if you're on the fence, if you're unsure, do you want to get something, or maybe you're wondering, you know, is it actually any good? You know, well, I'm more than happy to showcase stuff for you. Why did it default to that view? It should be straight ahead. Pilot sits on the right on this machine. That's quite okay. Set up some views. The camera system is shagged. It's all right. We'll make do. We'll make do. That's why I didn't like it. Okay. That's okay. Right. We'll get out of the plane because we didn't get into it yet. There's no way to fix that camera bug. Anyway, so what do we have here? Well, do you know what we'll do? We'll have a quick look at the airport first. And then we can look at the plane, can't we? So the airport, right? First off, it's the scale. Yeah, the sim is doing mad things. Look at all that, look. Jesus, the scale of this place, look. This is huge. Huge. So it's an Aerosoft scenery, and this one of Dusseldorf here in Germany. So, man alive, this is quite impressive already. Look at the scale, lads. So all the various different airport buildings. We have all the... is that a Hilton or something? You have all the hotels and whatnot. Looks the part. You got photogrammetry. That just is class. Wow, look at the building. Oh, lads, look at the cut of this. This is nice, isn't it? That's a Sheraton hotel right in the middle at Dusseldorf. Look at the state of that, look. Jesus. That's impressive, isn't it? Look at that. So it's a Sheraton with their fancy gardens on the roof, right? One over here to where the vehicles are parked.
Hello there.
Hello there. Fornax, good to see you, man. Hope you're keeping well. There's a lot of detail here, look. So you walk out of the hotel and then you're pretty much into the terminal then, yeah? Mercedes Sprinters, very good. There's some people waiting. There's a bus. Jesus, look at the modelling here. Isn't that's pretty good, lads, isn't it? Huh? Jesus, that's very good. And then you're into the airport itself. That's very good. Jesus, that's very impressive now. Alright, so we got all our check-in areas. Fairly basic, but looks the part. I don't know where else is modelled. You've sounds for cars. This I like.
Oh, Jesus.
I like that. Jesus, the detail. Alright, just terminal interior. All is well. This is well done. This is very well done, isn't it? The jetways are done very well. All right. Yeah, this is nice now. Jeez, there's savage detail going in on this. The sounds are a little bit strange. You don't know where they kind of start and stop. That probably needs a patch, right? I mean, the interiors are fine. They're well made, aren't they? Where's the bar? I don't know if I like that sound. It's a little bit kind of loud. Jeez, look at the detail in here, look. Like, it's like they're driving on gravel, do you know what I mean? Like, it's great to have sound, but like, that just seems off. It just seems... Look at the amount of objects, though. I mean, this is real good. Jesus, they put a lot of work into this. There's savage detail here. It's a big airport, lads, isn't it? It's a big airport. Let's oh yeah, even here is done well, look. Yeah, I'm liking this. This is a great setup. Let's go up to this tower, shall we? I mean, look at this here, look. That's very good, isn't it? The modelling it's class, lads. Tower, no interior? That's odd. The tower's there, though. Jesus, look at the scale. They've done a ton of stuff here, look. Moving radar. Not a Skoda in sight. You having a chat with Aerosoft over this, I can tell you. I mean, like, if they want to get points for realism, you need to put in a Skoda. I'm just saying it. Wait, now. Is that supposed to be a Skoda? No. 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 No sign of a Skoda. That texture flickering, that's a bug that comes up every now and again as well. Yeah, in the land of Beamers, Audis and Mercs. Yeah, well, I know that, but like Skodas, they you know what I mean? They're welcome to any party. They're the non-aggressive car, you know? Ah, Jesus, they Volvos. Ah, what were they thinking? So that wouldn't pull you out of the bed. Any scanges in it, no? Right now? No, they're all Volvos. They're all Volvos. Lads, look at the detail of this. Isn't it huge? There's the taxi company, because they're all Mercs, look. Mercs and Audis and Volkswagens. That's very good. That's very, very good. I have like that plexiglass thingy there as well. Look at that. Can I see that? Nicely done. Look at this mad hanger. Ooh. We'll have to ah, Jesus, even the tolls coming in, look. That's class. The trains. Station is done really well. It's just a big airport. Let's check out the night lighting. The textures, that's just a bug in the sim. That can't be helped. Usually a reset kind of fixes things. Oh, yes. Oh, look at the lighting here. Oh my word, look at that. Jesus, lads, look at the lighting. That is superb. Look at that cut. Look at the state. Jesus. That's unbelievable, isn't it? That's like bang on. The colour tones, the spill lighting. That's bang on. Jesus, that's gorgeous. All the different spill lighting that they have as well. Look at that. Jesus. That's gorgeous, man. Jesus. It's over here now. Like, look at the... Jesus, they mustn't have let the lads out for weeks. Look at the individual fluorescent light bulbs. The portal... Can we come outside now? No! Keep building the airport. Have you ever seen anything like that? Savage. It's brilliant. That's some of the best night lighting I've seen. I'm like, look at the state. Look at that. That's really well done, isn't it? Hang on now, we need to do our own little test of making the thing look absolutely nuts. Come here now for a second.
Oh, Jesus.
Right now. Lads. Lads. Murph, you missed the... Oh, wait, what? Coxper Dev! Sam, good to see you, my dude. I thought you knew all FlightSim devs are tied down to their chairs, only let out on special occasions, right? Brilliant, read the chat. Hey, Rafi's here, good to see you, man. Murph is not reading me messages. 4 minutes left. What did he say? Murph, do you know where there's an Easter egg? A statue of mine. If you find it in the next 5 minutes, I'll give you another key. Wait! Balls, man! You give us a second. It's in the terminal, is it? Rafi, what terminal? There's friggin' lots of them. Hang on. An Easter egg now, right? An Easter egg. Turn back that time. Restart the clock. Jesus. Right. An Easter egg, you say. Hang on, don't go through the floor. Is it in here? Jesus, the rain is really coming down. It's in Pier C. Ooh. Right, that's B. Come on now, Colette. Right, we're in C. Get in there now. Right, shh. Parking at the airport. Okay, there's Jemima. So we're in here somewhere. An Easter egg, he says. Did you put yourself in the scenery? You're very tall. Turn back time. See, he doesn't read everything in the chat. No, this is the first time I get to look at this airport. I'm blown away by it. It's class. The lighting is savage. Now, lads, we're looking for some sort of an Easter egg. Hang on there now. Maybe B. I'm not sure right now. It's a golden statue. Right, okay, we'll find it. If it's a golden statue now, lads, we'll find it, right? We'll find it. Right, I don't see it there. Jeez, it's slashing rain. Yeah, the sounds, it's just like they're driving on gravel. That's the only thing I'd say. Virginia, then, could you not maybe have them driving on gravel? We'll check B now. Golden statue. We're off to find a golden statue. And sorry folks, did anyone see a golden statue around here? Murphy's too posh for gravel, so the gravel sound is a FlightSim 24 bug. Rajal. Jesus, look at the detail out there. Look, the lighting. We need to find this golden statue. How big is it now? Like, is it easy to miss? Wait. Go one level down. Skunk. I didn't even know you could do that. Right, okay. Then you... Target acquired. We'll have to do this the only way, well, we know how to do these things. And that's going to be by pressing one of these. Hang on a second. It says, Rafi, the golden visionary. That's brilliant. Hang on. Rafi was not just a person. He was a dreamer of high altitude and layover aspirations. His lifelong ambition to become an immaculate golden statue placed in the heart of an airport, gazing eternally at the hurried travellers, the lost luggage, and overpriced coffee stands. This peculiar wish stemmed from his belief that airports were the cathedrals of modern life, where people worship time and itineraries. Although fate and finances didn't quite permit the gliding process, Rafi's unwavering determination led to the creation of this bronze replica. Note the steadfast gaze. It's no mistake. It was meant to guide travellers to Gate 17, but now enthusiastically points towards the duty-free liquor aisle. His smile, optimistic yet slightly knowing, reminds visitors that even in the chaos of cancelled flights, there's always the chance for a little golden glow. Ultimately, Rafi found his place in the world, not in gold, but as a bronze beacon of whimsical ambition. His statue celebrates not just the art of dreaming big, but also the reality of settling for materials that won't tarnish with duty-free champagne spills. Truly, Rafi remains the first icon of frequent dreamer miles. Bronze with ambitions of gold, fiberglass for resilience, and dreams for eternity. For God's sake. That's very good, isn't it? That's brilliant. Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's fantastic. Very good, man. Very good. Listen, there's going to be more of these now scuttered around different airports. There has to be. Can you collect them all? The bronze head busts. That's brilliant. That's very good, isn't it? Oh, very good. Well, lads, that being the airport, isn't it class? I mean, the reflections. I mean, oh, Jesus, would you look? Isn't it savage? Isn't it only class, look? Oh, do you know what I need to see? Come on over here, look. Yes. We need to see the thing from the... look at the lighting here, look. It's very impressive, isn't it? What the deuce? It has the tram train thingamajig, look. Jesus. Oh, it goes underneath the oak. That's the sound it doesn't make. Right? Brilliant. Oh, the taxis and all that. Yeah, that's very good. That's very good. And the reflections there with the rain and the whole lot. Oh, Jesus, then. We nearly got run over. Very impressive, isn't it? Stay away from the red lamps, right? Monorail.
Jesus.
Monorail. That's very, very good. Rafi, that's brilliant, man. Awesome. Riot. Well, that's the airport, lads. As a major base for the airline Eurowings, the airport also welcomes a multitude of international carriers with flights to North America, across Europe, and even as far as the Middle East. Aviators can enjoy an ILS, RMP, and even an SRA approach to its runways 23 left and right, and 05 left and right. The project has been kept secret, but the team took to Discord to not only announce the project, but also to release it. You can purchase the Aerosoft Dusseldorf from Microsoft FlightSim at their website, €1676 plus VAT. So about 20 bucks? About 20 bucks. Now, hang on, did we get a giveaway? Oh, we did! Rafi, absolute ledge. Thanks very much. Thanks so much. Right, lads, hang on a second there now. We're going to go into our Bijani then. Where does this go? TTM community. Right. And we'll do this for... What time are we? Oh, yeah, we'll do it for 20 minutes. 20 minutes! 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Aerosoft. Oh, Jesus. A-E-R-O. Aerosoft. Peter Janey, Condo is here as well. Welcome aboard, Condonians. Hope you're keeping well. Lads, how do you spell Dusseldorf? Dusseldorf? Yeah, let's go with that, Murph. No, that's not. Yeah, spell check that. I mean, you don't need to spell check it. Yeah, spell check it. Dusseldorf Airport. I can't do the fancy U gadget. Dussel GORF, isn't it? Oh, Grizzle, come on yourself. Hope you divil you. Grizzle, hope you're well, man. Kando, hope you're well. Welcome in. Dusseldorf Airport. 1. No, you copied that wrong, you big idiot. I know. 1 copy of. And this would be PC only, lads. Right. Right, lads. Go on over to our Discord. And in the giveaway channel is your chance to win a thing with the yoke with the thing, right? So what you do, you go into our Discord. If you're not in our Discord, ! Discord. Grizzle, thank you so much indeed for 6 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. Cheers, man. So ramble into our Discord. Click on the shamrock to say, yeah, you're in. Dussel is Egypt in German. Dussel is Egypt in German. Ara, don't say that. Is it? Nice, don't be saying that. Anyway, ramble in, go into the giveaway channel, and behind my mallet head, well, there's a little button down here. Click on the little button for your chance to enter the giveaway to be in with a chance to win a copy of Aerosoft's Dusseldorf Airport. With thanks to Rafi, who is here in the chat as we got to show it off. With the very best of luck. And as we do that, friends, in the background, well, we're going to change the time of day, change the weather even, because now we're going to come back over here to our little Marchetti. And this is the updated variant, and, well, this is what we're going to do. So, get over here now for a second, and, oh, look, that's a Cessna, wait, hang on. That's a Cessna hangar in front of us, is it not? Grizzle gifted a sub to Rafi as well. Thank you very, very much indeed. Dorf is gullible in German. So, hang on, is it Egypt? Gullible Egypt? Is it very funny? Are you very funny? Right bunch of funny lads below now at the biro, huh? Right bunch of funny lads. Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Grizzle, thank you very much, man. Insane. Right. Jesus, look at me shadowed there. Look at the size of me hands. Anyway, so here we have the Marchetti Warrior, the SF260, updated for FlightSim 2024, meaning, well, we have the walk around, so we can remove the chocks. Yes, yes, yes. Up down here now. Oh, Jesus. Up down here now and grab the remove before flight on the Pito. Okay, what else can we check out here, lads? Prop? You do nothing with the prop. There's a click point somewhere. Okay, it thinks there's a click point somewhere. Remove those. Nice little livery on this, isn't it? So that's our kind of walk around complete. We'll jump into the cockpit now and see what happens, right? Right, so from out here, well, let's have a look at the aircraft itself. It has been updated to work in FlightSim 2024. In actual fact, they're calling this it's a native 2024 aircraft. Now, as I said, the SF260, this came out in 2020. Initially, it was only kind of meh, but then they gave it an update and it became nice. And now this one seems to be fully up and running for FlightSim 2024. The model is spot on. I remembered before the scale was miles off. They have it fairly bang on now. These were kind of referred to as the what was the nickname these were given? They were like the Ferrari of the sky, or I think it was Ferrari. They're a beautiful airplane and they're fast, right? Ideally used for in military training more so. And as I said, the Irish Air Corps operated these for many, many years. Many years they used these for training, and equipped with you know, very light ground attack roll as well. You can fit rockets to them, you can put pylons on them, and so on. So looking at the aircraft, yeah, it's definitely after getting a bit of a spruce up in 2024. There's nice wear and tear that you can see, and well, the aircraft can use Microsoft Flight Sim's wear functionality, and yeah, it looks pretty good. I gotta say, visually, this is nice. This is nice. So we're gonna see, does Murphy know? Can he fly it? So we'll hop in here and see what happens, right? So let me see. Controls back, mixture back. the sounds aren't the most encouraging things, but let's see what happens. So we got switches over here. We got our nav lights, steady, flash, bright, off, on. Unfortunately, our circuit breakers don't work, but that's, you know, that is what it is. Battery test won't come on until we probably power up the battery. Inverter should be in the off position. Mag and starter switch, battery. Alternator. HSI, no, won't come on. That won't come on. Avionics master. No sounds with the gyro, unfortunately, but let's not worry about it too much. Fuel. Let's go for the tip tanks. Let's just make sure we have fuel in the tip tanks. Yeah, we got a bit. Maybe go 15. 6, 15. There we go. That'll balance us out a little bit better. What do we have over here? Pitot, no. Lighting. They're okay. Fuel level. Okay. Booster pump. Interesting sound. Prop, terrible sound. Mixture, terrible sound. That's just a god-awful sound. Right. What do we have here now? Landing gears in the down position. Defrost we're not using. Flaps in the up position. Battery temperature. Hot, warm. Can we test? The light isn't working, but we test is working. That's okay. Panel lights are here. What else do we have here now? We should be able to open and close the canopy. There should be a big twist lock over our head. Double cock. There she be. Open. Very nice. Close. Yeah, the sounds are a little bit kind of two panel light stage. That's grand. Open, close. We shall say clear prop. 1, 2, 3. And let's see what happens. We'll give it a start and let's hope she fires. Good sound. She's idling very high, but we'll figure that out now in a minute. Get the inverter on. Avionics on. Fuel pump off. She's idling a little bit high. That's okay. Okay. Landing light. Load meter's working. Electricals are doing what they need to do. Lights are on. Strobes. Landing lights aren't coming on. Well, sorry, taxi lights aren't coming on. What else do we have here? That's good. That's good. So usually you had a switch at the side that would have tightened in your harness and all that sort of stuff. That doesn't seem to be working here, but that's okay. Stall warning. We should be able to press and hold that. You'll hear it, or you'll see the light. That's not modelled either. Jeez, there's a lot of stuff not modelled. But anyway, outside. It's the sounds we're going for, so let's have a little listen here to see what happens, right? Not bad. The LOD is very bad because we can see a gap in the canopy, but then when you zoom in, it fixes it. So they did say that they had an issue with the LOD with this aircraft. Sounds from the rear. Alright. Garrett, you know, it is alright, like, you know. But we'll see, right? We'll see. Inside sounds a bit heavy. Right, come off the brakes. Bit of power. Not to flaps. It's a nice place to sit. The cockpit is really nice. There's beautiful detail. It's very sharp. There's nice colours. I'm just doing wheelies here. Yeah, I don't think there's spatial sound on this. Jesus, Murphy, where exactly? We'll go this way, look. Look out, Simon! It's alright! Good man, Simon, we didn't doubt you at all. Flight controls, free and correct. Although a little bit... Oh, they're good, they're good. The textures are quite good. Ramble out this way. Up the hill there now, Betsy. Easy, easy. We'll go 05 left for the crack. Is it free? This is not free. Not free, no. Disorientating sitting from the right side. Similar to the Grob. If you ever flew the Grob, now we can just, you know, make you feel better. But in this airplane, pilot flying actually sat on the right seat. And I don't mind it, like, it keeps things different, you know what I mean? Keeps things lively. Flaps. Flaps are working. We'll go for a notch for takeoff. Crazy little bee waiting on the new wing stuff to come out. Hell yeah, man, hell yeah. Right, let's just do a very quick mag test here. So RPM up to, let's call it 1800. Easy. Plenty of movement of the airplane. This is accurate. They do rock around the place. Mags left. There's a drop. Back to both. Mags right. There's a drop. Back to both. Up to about 2100. Cycle the prop. We're looking for three things. First, increase manifold pressure. Only barely. Second is going to be a drop in RPM, which you can already see. And third is going to be a drop in our fuel. Okay, so the prop cycle doesn't seem to work. That's encouraging. Alright, let's take her for an out blast here. Walking, talking, and very soon to be squawking. Yes, we are. Alright, let's go flying. Alright, take up our set. Speed coming up. Easy on the pedals. There's 50. There's 60. She's very giddy on the ground. Oopsie daisy. Positive rate of climb. Gear coming up. Flaps coming in. The little static ports of the wicks, they're not moving. That's unfortunate. They should be flapping away good old. Beautiful wing looking, or beautiful wing. Like she's modelled well. Ah, wow, we got trains. Lads, look at the trains. Ah, Jesus, brilliant. Hang on, let's see, can we find the train over here? Hang on. We're looking out for trains. Will we see a train, or will Murphy stall? Who else is dizzy? I don't see the train. Let's spin around. Easy now. Visibility is good. I like the change of the colour on the top. That's pretty nice. There's our train. Aerosoft, you've modelled trains. They've brought trains into our simulator. Look! How far does the devil go, I wonder? You know, look at the train. What a time to be alive. That one part, that's like the scene out of Mission Impossible. Do you know, that one fella on the FlightSim forums, bring back trains. All his dreams have come true, look. Brilliant. Is Nightsap calling me an idiot? Right, let's turn down the engine sounds a little bit. Let's see how the airplane now behaves, right? Because this was always a bit of an issue. Okay, so we're climbing at 1,000 feet a minute, maintaining about 145, so that's quite okay. Our trim inputs, not bad.
Hello there.
Okay, we'll try an aileron roll. That's nice. Try the other side. Captain Norse, welcome in. Yeah, we got trains, man. All thanks to Aerosoft. There needs to be now a photo of Rafi on the train as well. Like what you see. Right? With a QR code. Okay, what about the rudder? Oh, way better. Way better. Yeah, rudder input is now way better. Alright. Let's gain a bit of altitude and we'll try and out-stall here. 2,000 feet, we're a little bit low. Man, look at the view, man. Jesus. Right, let's get aggressive at this. There's 3,000 feet. Kill the power. Wait for the stall. There's the stall. Hold the nose. Nose drops. Power coming in. Recover. We'll try it again. This time throw a bit of a turn into it. Hold. 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 She's trying to spin. She wants to spin. There she goes. Recover. Okay, I will say the handling of this aircraft is way better. Now I mean it's way better, lads. So this is a nice thing in FlightSim 24 with this aircraft. You can see now they were saying already there was an issue with the LOD. It was quite aggressive. So for example, if we start going out, you can kind of see where the LOD is struggling. Now it's not, I wouldn't call it terrible. It's not terrible. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Some of our views here. Nice textures on it, isn't there? Yeah, the cockpit pops in. Yeah, we can see that. Alright. I mean, she looks nice. Sounds are shagged. There's no sound coming directly on the nose. It's like we've broken the sound barrier. That's a little bit strange, isn't it? So they need to fix that, because if I just move to one side... Right? So I think it's still kind of lacking in the L sounds department. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Echo 19 or Bowers would have this sorted in minutes. Let's look at the gear animation. It's good. Flap animation. Also good. Look at that nose trying to pitch up. Decent. Okay, we're not too bad. Let's go for nighttime lighting. So exterior lights. Apart from that weirdness that is like the sound. Inside the aircraft, this should be our own panel lighting. We can turn on our own head torch here for the minute. So we just kind of have like red lighting in here, look. It's basic. Is it a little bit too basic? I don't really know, to be honest. It's not bad though. In terms of autopilot, I don't believe so. I could be very wrong, but I don't believe so. We have, right, we've TACAN, nav, transponder, radios. There's no standard autopilot in it, Dougal. Now, whether or not we can kind of, you know, create one. Heading. No autopilot. For 26 bucks, is it worth it? Hard sell, lads. I mean, as I said, it's okay. This is way better than what it was in FlightSim 2020. The sounds aren't, they're still not great. And anyone telling you the sounds are great, they're not. You've heard them. There's beautiful textures here, and you know, and I think everything's done very clear. It's easy to read the dials and do all that stuff. It's very, very nice, right? We have a winner, by the way, lads, of our Aerosoft scenery. The winner is Rock and Rimmer. Rock, congratulations, man. Well done. You absolute ledge. Rock, just drop me a DM, mate. We'll get you sorted. Congratulations. And again, massive thank you to Rafi and Aerosoft for giving us that giveaway for Aerosoft's new Dusseldorf scenery. It's a beaut. So very well done. Rock, well done, mate. What, me? Just drop me a DM, Rock, and we'll get that over to you. Yeah, can you check via wars? So yeah, so navigation should be fine. We do have you've com and you've nav. This all works as it did the last time. So yeah, you can do via war navigation with this. No danger. The warning horn can be disabled as well. Yeah, no, that's not bad. It's a nice looking plane though, isn't it? I mean, the Marchetti is gorgeous looking. Now we need her in an Irish Air Corps livery, there's no doubt about that. But from the cockpit, I just, it's a very kind of, you know, it's a nice, unique kind of a machine. And we've batteries and stuff back here, I think, haven't we? You can't interact with it, mind you, but there's a bit of stuff back here. The Air Corps had seats in the back of theirs. What do you think, lads? Do we like? If you trim properly, you don't need autopilot. Agreed. And it does respond-ish to the trim. Let's put the nose down. Let's see, can we ease off the trim here? Nose down. She doesn't really want to trim. That just doesn't want to trim. The trim is kind of shagged here, look. Okay. Easy now. So trim up. Counteract some of that roll, throw in a bit of rudder trim. Trim down. Easy. 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 Yeah, it trims out pretty well. That's her trimmed-ish. Small bit of a roll to her left, but again, you can correct that with some rudder trim. So yeah, no, the trim works. That sound there is weird. I think it's better than just freeware. Like, there is a fair bit of stuff going on. It does fly really well. It's nowhere near as twitchy as it used to be. You know. But the sounds aren't good. They're all right, but what about a spatial sound or even, you know, flyby sound? No. Like, if you ever heard a Marchetti Warrior, lads, you know, hang on. These things sounded friggin' deadly, right? Marchetti Warrior fly past. Excuse me. Where is this now? Journey to 800 hours, 650. Oh, we don't want music. Don't give us music. Just give us an L video of a Marchetti flying over. Where are you now? Hang on. Oh, they're all silly videos. I'm just trying to find a video of something just with a flyover. Oh, that might do. Now, granted, there's two aircraft, but this is the sound of the Marchetti. Like, they have a really distinct sound, you know. Like in X-Plane, or yeah, in X-Plane, brilliant. Yeah, we need Tyler on this for sure. Beautiful airplane, the Marchetti. Like, it's a gorgeous airplane, lads. Man, that's bringing me back. Anyone living in Dublin remember these flying over? The Air Corps operated them. Very, very nice aircraft. That's a great display the two pilots are doing, aren't they? Really, really nice. But anyway, it just doesn't have that, you know. Do you know what I mean? Real Air did the sounds before. Oh, did they? All right, okay. Right, well, lads, that's going to do it for tonight. I hope you found it somewhat helpful, informative, right? We checked out a fair bit of stuff. We checked out the Shark 600 by Propair. That's really, really nice little airplane. We checked out Dortmund and Dusseldorf, both from Aerosoft. Really, really nice airports. I think Dusseldorf kind of taking the cake there, especially with Rafi's bronze bust, or the golden bust. And then, of course, we have the Sim Skunk Works SF260 updated now in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Listen, I think it's nice. I think it flies nice. And if you're it's a very unique aircraft. If it got a sound set, I'd say buy it straight away. That's all that's really missing from it. I think, right? But it's still a nice plane and it flies superbly. Do you know, it flies really, really nice. So that's the story now, lads. I want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. We're back to you on Friday night. We have a group flight, would you believe it? Regional aircraft. We're going to be flying in the CRJ version 2. I'm taking the Dash 7. We're going to be departing out of Phoenix, Arizona. Our first stop of the night is going to be into Las Vegas. Then we hop out of our beautiful regional airliner and we go flying in some helicopters in and around the Vegas Strip. Then our second leg back into the CRJ as we fly it from Las Vegas over to Los Angeles. So fly whatever you like. It could be fixed wing, helis, could be jets, or even airliners as well. We'll give it a now blast. Don't be a Dussel. Very nice app. But yeah, lads, I want to thank you all so very, very much indeed. Just before we go as well, as a little reminder, Gibbo has been hard at work updating the website, and of course we also have a new download available in a Firefly Air livery. It is that for the P180 from FlightFX. Cyrus did some great work there, and the website has been updated as well for our ATC series, which is currently running on Monday nights. So thank you all so very, very much indeed. Have a lovely rest of your evening, and we're going to see it on Friday from 1900 Zulu. Have beer on the way and a tasty beverage of your choice. Till then, you take care.
For a warbird, it's one of the finest warbirds ever released in Microsoft Flight Simulator, considering you have the excellent work of Flying Iron. This thing, because of the extra features, because of the optimization, because of how well it looks and sounds, even flying this thing gives you an experience you probably haven't got already in the sim when it comes to flying a warbird. It feels heavy, it feels cumbersome, it behaves differently, and there's a lot of depth to it. It's a cracker, it's a masterpiece. Oh, I never did the thing, look.